Russ Martin Show.
We didn't just start taking it for no reason.
Hello.
Carlos.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just finished eating dinner.
At 6 o'clock?
Yeah, I ate early.
Yeah.
What's up?
What are some of the side effects of this Wellbutrin?
Initially, it's going to be a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, well, some people act differently. Some people have had very bad emotional irritability with the medication once they started it.
I got that. I have that really bad right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Hadn't you been off of it for a couple of days?
The Wellbutrin?
Yeah.
No, just one day.
Just one day?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what I said?
I'm sorry? You restarted it again today or yesterday?
Today.
Today.
Because I was off of it yesterday. One day.
Yeah, but you were on 150 milligrams for about a 2-week period without that emotional lability.
Right.
That we call it.
I understand. I was there.
Could be the 300 milligrams that you're on now is just a little bit too much for you, so drop down to 150.
All right. And what's going to happen at 150?
Probably the same thing you were when you were taking it for the 2-week period of time. You won't get the labile effect, the emotional. I guess I'm assuming that you're a little short-tempered, testy, or whatever. It should go back down.
Yes, I said that.
You should not be experiencing that. There was a question of Cymbalta. Just Trey.
Trey said he heard about that someplace.
Yeah, and I was going to call you afterwards.
Yeah, what is that?
To ask you about. That's
if you prescribe it for me, to go ahead and write 4 or 5 prescriptions because everybody up here is going to want to be on it. JD's on Wellbutrin. He got no clue why.
He knows why. Yeah, it's like a 4th generation of the antidepressant. It's supposed to be you're taking it in the evening, and it's supposed to be not as labile as the other ones, kind of like the Zoloft.
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't have the roller coaster kind of emotional effects that you would say to right now at Wellbutrin. It doesn't do that. It's been on the market about 6 to 8 months, and a lot of patients are being switched over to it when they pretty much maxed out the other antidepressant effects and they're no longer working, or they haven't reached the potential of what the medication should be doing.
What's it called again?
Cymbalta.
Do I need that?
I was going to ask off the air to see if just to discuss it with you.
What do you want to know?
Well, number one, I wanted to know what effect you were getting on the Wellbutrin at the 300 milligrams, and I guess today answered the question. I haven't been listening, so I don't know. Have you been more short than before? I mean, kind of testy, irritable, short-tempered, just an edge, I guess.
Yes.
You have been?
Yes.
And there's nothing else that's going on. Everything is exactly the same, except for the increasing of the Wellbutrin.
Right.
There's no.
Why don't you ask me again and see if my answer changes?
Well, I want to be sure that I'm as specific as possible with you.
I'm pissed off, and I can't shake it.
Okay. Then Russ, go back down to the 150.
All right. Well, am I going to get the other benefits if I go back down to 150?
There was those 2 weeks that you were on it. Were you as testy as you are now on the 150?
Mm-mm.
How did you feel on the 150?
I felt okay, but I didn't get any. I didn't know why I was taking it.
Okay.
If I'm taking it just to get me irritable, it works.
Well, yeah, obviously, I guess it's worked then if that were the end result we were looking for, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Drop back down to 150.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see how you're doing. Probably tape you off of it because if you're not getting the effect that you were initially looking for when we first started this little adventure, then 300 you can't tolerate it because of the emotional lability that you're having. So we may have to take you off of it. Okay.
How long before this irritability goes away?
Well, if you drop down to 150, probably over the next 24 to 48 hours, you should start feeling like you were before.
All right.
Yeah, because you seemed pretty testy yesterday for a short period of time, and I was writing it off that you weren't on the medication. You've been off of it for a day.
Mm-mm. No, you showed up yesterday. I didn't know you were coming.
I was made aware that you kind of knew I was to take the blood. So
the last conversation you and I had was you weren't coming.
Russ, that was last week.
Okay. Have you and I talked since then, where you said you're coming to get blood?
Over the weekend, I tried to return your phone calls and left messages. And
so the answer is no.
Yesterday morning, assuming that he had spoken to you because he sees you every day.
No.
Okay. Bad assumption on my end. Fine.
So that had nothing to do with me being irritable.
I just told you when I saw you, kind of, you seemed kind of upset and stuff, and I don't know why. And now I found out that you were off the Wellbutrin leash for a day, and so I gave you some other samples to get you back on the medication.
I love to stab you. I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Stab your doctor. Wellbutrin.
The Russ Martin Show.
Forgot about that. Did you keep it?
Yeah, if you want me to, I can go get them for you in 10 seconds.
What's it on? What format?
I'll put it on my flash drive and plug it into your computer.
All right. And that was Gavin's idea of cross promotion. They were running
KLLI all Christmas? Was it Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't last year. 07, was it 06?
Yeah, I would say year before.
Yeah, they're running promos for KVIL on my show.
Sure. About the Christmas music. Mm-hmm.
All right. What are we getting?
Nothing.
Well,
you don't need it. You're number one. That's what I've always said. You don't need the promotion. You don't need the TV. You don't need the billboards. You're number one without it. How many times do we have to tell you this from corporate?
How about a nice little buffer? So Gavin's consolation is, all right, I'll have some produced for KVIL to run. That's what Trey went to go get. His 10 seconds are up.
Yes, man.
Chloe, push that door open for me just a little bit. Excuse me a second.
All right.
Okay.
I missed that.
You started clicking faster.
You're kind of scaring me. You won't be able to do anything.
Right now, he's still trying to plug that flash drive in.
To the headphone jack.
He's got USB ports. Why couldn't they be the size of a phone? Who was outside with him Friday when we blew the watermelons with that last airbag? You, Chuck?
I was out there with the camera.
Were you watching Trey?
Actually, yeah, I was actually right next to Trey because he and I were inside the back door after I'd set the camera down.
Because you could hear by the audio that Chuck was getting flustered.
Okay. Oh, I remember, yeah.
And I went, that's the way that Chuck gets right before we go on stage. You hit him with anything, he'll start freaking. So then I start screaming them out on the two-way.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was in my
Okay,
room.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
I'm sorry.
And then Trey starts to get rattled.
Hurry up! You're screaming, hurry up, I'm dead air.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this dead air? You hear both of them getting rattled.
Did you ever tell them you were just messing with them?
I told them after the show.
Oh, okay.
Hurry up. Oh, my God.
Do you remember, was it right at 7 this past Friday?
I think it was.
See if you can pull that during the next break.
Okay.
All right, Trey, where's the audio?
Click on my computer, go to Trey's Mini.
I don't see it. I see Highway to Hell. I see a big music library. Why do I have a music library?
I have no idea why you have a music library on there.
I got Bad Company. Christina Brenham. Who the hell that is? I got Elvis. Monster Ballads. I ain't got the audio you promised me.
Well,
What?
if you'll go to my computer,
Okay. I don't see your flash drive. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
KVIL, or Chapman and KVIL jingles,
All right.
then go to the bottom KVIL Christmas jingles.
You sound rattled.
This is a new system talking you to where everything is.
All right. Let's see if I can find it. That don't sound like it. JD was already singing along with the jingle.
Oh, I sing
before I knew what it
I
was.
used to sing this thing in the car when I was in high school. Strings. And the
back.
group that sings.
It's back in the 70s.
Yes, late 70s. The full version, too.
That's when Chapman used to have jingles that were 2 minutes long. The jingles were, some of them were long as songs.
Every spring they come up with a new theme. I love them.
There's another one on here. Chapman would use that at the end of one of his so wildly entertaining bits.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, I see it. The other promos they ran for me as an exchange for cross promotion.
Very nice.
This is it. The place where you can celebrate the holidays every day. A KVIL Christmas. All the holiday songs you love. All day and all night. Only on 103.7 KVIL. When you need a break from the Christmas music, enjoy The Antichrist. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 7 on Live 105.3.
He's just so cheery. I thought they were going to shift into like a devil voice. And when you want the Antichrist.
Are there, I see 2 cuts. Are they both different?
It's been so long since I cut them up. There's actually 3 cuts.
All right. Yeah, was this right? Was this 06? Not 07.
Yeah, 06.
So they didn't run anything for us this past year.
Mm-mm.
This is it. The place where you can celebrate the holidays every day. A KVIL Christmas. All the holiday songs you love. All day and all night. Only on 103.7 KVIL. When you need a break from the Christmas music, enjoy The Antichrist. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 7 on Live 105.3.
Not even my name.
No.
All right, I see one more on here. And it's always a rush to for all the adult contemporary stations who's going to be the first to play all Christmas music.
First Christmas song.
Yeah, it's always like, well, a bunch of Thanksgiving. And a bunch of Halloween.
No. If they started, don't they do it just before Thanksgiving now?
I think
Some have started sooner now.
Oh, sure, why not?
Well, because you want to be the first And traditionally, everybody waits until either Thanksgiving evening or the next day. Everybody keep bumping it up.
It's the same songs. Record it.
According to Kurt Johnson at Jack, he said you see a rating spike.
Every year they get a rating spike. Yeah.
Then I don't get why.
Just, I guess, middle-aged housewives are sick of hearing the junk on Kiss FM. They want to hear something different. And you're so ready for the holidays, you know. Want to get every minute of it.
We totally skated past the spooks in October and everything in Thanksgiving.
Nope. No interest. There's no songs associated with that.
When you really want to get in the spirit, only one station will do. The Christmas Station, 103.7 KVIL. When you need a break from holiday cheer, turn on the Antichrist. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 7 on...
All right. What is it, Cliff?
Just the fact that it's a Christmas about, Christ, and he's saying you're the anti.
I get it. That was the joke.
I'm just saying, it just...
Did you guys get the cash cube set up for Chloe? I know we couldn't get the real one from Outrageous Adventures, so we had to do the makeshift.
We made shift, yes. We have several fans. We're going to put them in the producer booth.
Did you test it out?
Yeah, they are plugged in and work.
Here, take some of the... I forgot to bring dollars, so I just brought paper. Each one will be good for... What did I do when it was your birthday, Dan? Was each one just $1?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
I was actually surprised you didn't actually throw change in there.
It wouldn't blow around.
Be too easy to
I know.
Take that paper in there.
Just give it a whirl?
Yeah. Turn however many fans you got on. Throw it in there and see if that'll work like a cash cube. All right. What are your plans for your birthday on Friday, Cliff?
I have no idea. I don't have any plans, seriously. Nothing going on.
Okay. No, that's all right. Thanks for helping me.
Everybody else parties and drinks on their birthday. Well, it's kind of like New Year's Eve for him. It's what amateurs do.
Oh, hang on. Let me turn the mic.
Got me?
Yeah.
All right. Turning on cube number 1. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Bring the mic down a little bit.
Turn them both on?
I'm turning on the second one now.
It's got him loose blanket. Like a washing machine.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you okay?
Ryan, you okay?
Yeah. Did Ryan get a hit?
I think one just grazed my nose.
What? Was a blade coming apart or what?
Here, I'll show you. It started to chip away at the grate, and the fan itself broke off pieces. So yeah, it's good to go.
Turn the other one off. Both you guys get out of that studio and turn that other one on. I want to hear what it finally does.
All right. Ryan, go ahead and step out and turn on the evil one.
Now it's only got 3 blades, so it's really going to self-destruct quickly.
All right, so just turn on and leave?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Turn it on high. I can't see it.
It's jumping all over the floor.
You can't see the pieces flying out the window?
I can
see them now.
All right, Chloe, go in there and get your money.
It's just jumping all over the floor. It's still standing up, though. That's funny. It's just walking around on the floor in circles.
Well, somebody needs to go and plug that.
I ain't going in there.
Who's behind you, Trey?
Dan.
All right, Dan, go ahead and plug it.
Right,
Gavin, go and plug it.
There goes Ryan. Instead of backing into the studio so your eyes are protected,
he goes right at it.
Ryan walks straight into it, kneels down, and he gets it in a puss. Hold it out, let me see it. Yeah, that thing's broken.
The front of it came off.
What?
The front of it came off.
Oh.
That's great.
Oh, we can't use that one.
We only have one.
You think one will work? I think really you almost need to have three, technically four, so you get some type of vortex going on.
Yeah.
That's all we had in the building were those two crapped out box fans?
That's it. Engineering had one and production has one.
What, Chuck?
Use a vacuum cleaner and reverse the hose.
Oh.
Will that work on a shop vac?
Yeah. Just blow out or out. Just blow it.
Okay.
Yeah, mine works like that.
Okay. Well,
All
we got
right.
a big shop vac.
You can test that out during the break.
Okay.
And I think just leave Flo in there with that other fan going.
Yes. Definitely.
All right. Anything else before we get started?
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about the camel spiders and JD not believing us, obviously.
Right. In Iraq.
Yes, camel spiders in Iraq. Hey, Russ, tell JD he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to camel spiders.
Okay.
I did 2 tours in Iraq and am finally home, but I'll never forget the day that I saw a camel spider. I was riding in a convoy outside of Baghdad when I saw a camel spider come out of someone's house. It actually opened the door.
Oh, stop. All right.
And yes, they are as big as Volkswagens. It started screaming and running toward us, just like I had heard you say. I hopped up on the 50 cal, ready to open fire. It got to the edge of the road, about 25 yards from us, when it set off a roadside IED.
What's an IED?
The improvised explosive device.
Explosive device.
Did it step on one and set it off,
Yeah.
or did it have its own?
No, he said it set off an IED, so I'm assuming it stepped on it.
Okay.
They're as big as Volkswagens. You're going to believe the rest after he says that?
Yeah.
They're not as big as Volkswagens.
Well, sometimes people exaggerate, but still, something the size of a puppy is a freaking big spider.
It's a huge spider, if this is real.
And there's more. So he stepped on the roadside IED. We sped up and got the hell out of there. I looked back and saw the dust settling, and guess what? That damn camel spider got the F up and walked away. Unless you've been there, you'll never understand, but I appreciate you trying, unlike JD.
JD's the one that wants...
real. It didn't survive an IED.
Let me see the...
It didn't serve no camel. No,
It came from a .gov email address.
Well, there you go. People can't lie in the government. A camel spider. IEDs kill 4 and 5 people at a time. A camel spider didn't survive it.
You don't know how long those freaking camel spiders have been around. They said that cockroaches could survive a nuclear blast. They'll still be here long after we're gone. So if a cockroach can survive that, these freaking camel spiders probably got their own planes.
No.
And they obviously know how to open doors now.
Clearly, this one opened a door.
What about the one that we saw driving the bus?
I never saw that. You said it.
All right.
That's not real. This one didn't drive a car, didn't open a door, and didn't survive an IED.
I don't care if there's only one in Iraq.
That's still scary
That's
as
enough
hell.
for me not to go. You want to go over there, John, and visit the troops?
I'd love to.
That's fine. I'll go to the airport and see them when they come back. But I'm not packing up everything, going over there, even if I never see one of the camel spiders.
You'll know.
Just knowing that it's lurking.
Well, I mean, we're in Texas. There's tarantulas bigger than your hand to lurk.
Normally, those are in the rural areas. You don't see them. I've never seen anything in my house, and I got almost 2 acres of land.
I don't either. So, that's probably what the camel spiders do. They live out in the woods. The guys that are in
Hey, this one came out of a house.
I did not open a door and walk out of the house and say, hello. Didn't. The guy made it up. He's being funny.
I don't think
It's
so.
not as big as a Volkswagen and open doors and survives IEDs.
Hello. Yes.
It was big enough that he thought he should man a 50 caliber machine gun to try to kill it.
That's shortly after he said it opened its own doors.
I jump on the 50 cal too. At that point, it's an insurgent.
Okay, I'm wrong. I wasn't there, and we're going to assume this guy with a .gov email address was.
Exactly. Again, you want to go? You want to?
I'd love to go over
What
there.
was
I
the
think
invitation? Was
Chuck
it
would go
Toby
too.
Key?
Yeah, we can go over there.
They invite us to go with them?
We can go over there when they go, and we can do the show there for a week and come back. You know, Pugsy and Kelly went to Ireland. We go to Iraq.
No.
All right. This thing would be great to go.
There's not a trade-off.
I think it'd be great. Chuck would go. I know he would go.
Well, then you guys take your vacation.
No, it's not that. It's taking the show.
These guys don't know who we are.
The hell they don't. Trey, how many CDs did you send over there
Oh,
at Christmas?
That's the people who lived here that were shipped out. They got no clue. The rest of the troops got no clue who we are. They're not going to get the band shtick.
Well, and that's not true. That is so not true. They have units now that when they get their new DVDs over there, they gather around and they listen every day.
Thank you.
So no, that's not true. You've gained a good probably 10,000 fans.
I get emails from him every day. I don't know if he doesn't forward them on to you, but
no, I never see them.
I get copied by the guys that are listening to the show on iPods and on everything else.
Most of the emails you get, are they just asking for copies of the show?
Truth of the matter is, a lot of them, they just are...
What is it we've got to offer them?
A respite?
So far today, we've been on a half an hour, and all we did was bust up a box fan.
And I can't stop looking at Christina Aguilera's boobs.
Where?
Number 2.
Oh, on Ellen?
Yeah.
Oh, she is.
Talk about something. I'll find the remote.
No, most of the time, a lot of times they just want it because they're trying to listen online. It's slow. Their connection is slow. And they're like, is there anything you can do to help? I'm like, yeah. I've got it down now to where it's kind of a science. So as long as you've got a computer that can play DVDs.
Okay.
And
so they're getting what they need.
Absolutely. And every one of them is very appreciative.
I don't know why you'd sit around and listen to this.
People do it all. We get emails every day almost from people who are listening in different parts of the country as well as world.
Yes, Matthew.
Hey, Russ, I listen to your show every day, but I did 2 tours in Iraq, and there are some that are that big. People in the government can't lie because it is falsifying a false official statement.
It's an email.
Also,
leave
there
alone.
are some,
Go ahead.
And there are also some that are called wind scorpions. They are the cousin to the camel spider.
Turn the radio down.
My radio down?
No, I'll turn mine down.
Yeah,
there.
I'm going to buy what he
wind
says.
Scorpion?
I wanted to find out how big that was, but obviously he'd been a little too close to some
IEDs.
Those. How long before we need to break?
About a minute.
Did you hear any of Mark Davis today?
No, I didn't hear a word.
I listened to him coming back from the gym. I actually sat in the car. I don't do that with anybody.
No.
He's chewing some chick's ass as much as he can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to add.
You're screaming with him.
Oh, I'm actually on the phone. I'm trying to call so I could go, all right, here's what you need to tell her.
Conference me in.
She was bashing on Bush. She said, you know that he had, what am I saying? That he knew there weren't any WMDs in Iraq before we went over there.
Okay, that was her point.
Mark said, how do you know that? Well, I do. And then she's talking, and it's back and forth. And he goes, all right, I'm going to ask you again. How do you know? He asked her 4 times. She said, well, there were documents that were never opened, and there was information in there that pointed that there to the fact there weren't any WMDs. I went, all right, ask her if it was never opened. How you knew what was in there?
Yeah.
And he goes back to, how do you know that President Bush knew there were no WMDs? I went, call her a gash. A whore. Throw something out because she's got it coming.
Yeah, she's locked on her rock.
Finally, he's still talking to her. I got out of the car, called him an idiot, and went in the house. How do you tolerate that?
That's what he
was talking to her for 5 minutes before I finally got out of the car because I had had enough of it. Why?
That's his entire thing is we're going to discuss this until you understand.
She's not answering his question.
But you are. Well, if I ask you long enough, the same question, you're going to understand that I'm asking you the same question over and over that you have not answered.
She never answered it. And then she came back with more asinine responses. You got undisclosed documents that prove that we knew there were no WMDs. All right, you dried up whore. How do you know what was in there if nobody ever saw them? Well, you know that what was in there.
You can't call people dried up whores. Not on talk radio like he does. He can't.
You see, they want people to call into his show.
See, I don't get that.
It's caller driven.
I got to know how the call ended. Somebody called Davis during the break, and also see if you can get another fan in there. Okay. We'll test out close cash cube and break here. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Martin Show.
So the vacuum cleaner blowing will work?
Yeah.
It'll blow the cash around?
Yeah.
Is it already in there plugged in?
It is. It is in there plugged in. And actually, I think to a certain extent, it might work better than the fan since it's a more concentrated blast of air. You just wiggle it around some.
Yeah. Is that Gail? Okay. Trey, why don't you and Dan go in there?
Okay.
Get set up. Here, take, Dan, take that. Okay, you take the cash.
All right.
And just gradually throw it in front of the thing. Okay. Hi, Gail.
Hi there, Russ.
What do you got?
WGN Superstation in Richardson, northbound 75 past the Bush Turnpike. You've got the 2 right lanes blocked by a wreck, expecting traffic coming off of the Bush Turnpike. Also, on the northbound 75 ramp to westbound LBJ, there's a stalled car in the left lane. And then westbound LBJ from 35 to Luna, they've got cones blocking off the 3 right lanes. Traffic's heavy from Webb Chapel on eastbound LBJ at Webb Chapel. In that backup, there's a wreck in the left lane. On southbound 35 at Wind River in Denton, there's a crash with a backup to Dallas Drive and then some busy side street areas. Northwest at Harry Hines, there's a wreck. Also in Richardson on Coit at Campbell. And in the Collin County area, 121 at Alma, your signal lights are flashing red. It's causing a little bit of a slowdown. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. A little bit warmer tonight. Should be about 50 for the overnight low, and almost 80 tomorrow, 83 by Thursday. It's 75 now at Live 105.3.
Chloe, you want to go in there?
Yes, so. What's going to happen?
For every piece of paper that you catch, each one of those is $1 because I forgot to bring the cash in. It's just like when we did Dan's birthday in the cash cube. Whatever you catch, you keep for your birthday.
Okay. All right.
Go.
All right.
Very appreciative. No, really. Early and everything. You've given it to him 3 or 4 days early.
Dan also has spiders to throw into the fan.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What do you... Never mind.
Are you guys set? Yeah, turn the mic up. Twist the mic towards you guys. Okay. Turn on the vacuum for a second. Let me make sure I can hear what's going on.
Vacuum!
I think that's too loud.
Yeah, that's about the sound, the noise the cash cube makes.
Oh. All right. Chloe, is Chloe ready?
You ready, Glenn?
Ready. All right, start throwing the cash out. Go the spider. Now the spiders.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Jesus! What the?
Jumped on his head.
Where are you laying? Where are you laying?
All right, turn it off.
Close it gone. There he comes.
How much money did you get?
You asked. I had like $40. I dropped it.
So you end up with nothing? Thanks for playing the game.
A couple of dead spiders.
Why'd you dump them on his head? You're supposed to throw it in front of the blower. Hello?
Sorry. I thought it would scare the crap out of them more.
Well, okay. Good call this time. But I wanted it blown in front of the blower, so they went everywhere. So you didn't get anything.
I had, like I said, I think like $40, $50.
You want to try again?
Not right now. Maybe later.
Okay.
Heart attack.
I don't want no cash for my birthday. I don't want any cash for my birthday.
There's got to be some challenge to it. You might stand in a cash cube and catch money as it's blowing around.
Yeah.
That's why when we did Dan for his birthday, we stuck Chloe in the cash cube with him with the muscle stimulator hooked up to him.
That's right. I knew it was something. I couldn't remember.
So Dan's having to try to fight Chloe off while he's picking up cash because Chloe's arms are flailing. He's knocking half of the money out of Dan's fingers.
I think Dan still came out with 50.
No, I think totally. What'd you get? A couple hundred?
I think it was, yeah.
Maybe a little bit
that's
more.
right, we did it a couple times.
Well, and I was able to figure out that the first time he was in there, he's, of course, whacking my hands and all the money's going everywhere that I would collect. So then I learned to pin him with my butt behind me and then elbow him every once in a while.
Not very Christian-like.
It wasn't that hard.
Okay. So you want to try this again? You want to wait for the cash cube tomorrow? I like the idea of the cash cube because then all the spiders will stay in one spot.
They keep flying around in circles.
I'm already freaked out because the Campbell spider story. That's just ooks me. I don't know if you see, but there was tears in my eyes when you guys were talking about it. I'm just the sheer thought of seeing a camel spider.
I don't like spiders either, but I think I'd stand in a cash cube with them. Especially those are the small ones.
Yeah, those are little ones. What are those, wood spiders?
Okay.
Yeah, just talking about going to Iraq and everything like that. None of the bombing, shells, none of that bothered me until they mentioned the camel spiders.
You wouldn't sleep the whole time.
You've been this way since a kid?
Probably since about 12, since I saw this huge spider at my aunt's house that totally, I don't know, from then on, it did me in. I don't know what that one moment was.
How big was it?
It was probably about as big as the home people have pets as tarantulas.
Oh.
About, 5-6 inches.
Was it somebody's pet or was it just running loose?
No, it was just running loose in Oklahoma. In the house. I was sitting laying and they just freaked out as a kid, jumped up and screamed, and ever since then.
Anytime I go to smack a spider now, I still flash back to that day I hit that mama spider and them babies, hundreds of them in every direction. Everywhere. You don't know what to do. You're smacking, you're running, you don't want to get out of the room. Then you realize you just let 200 spiders loose in the house.
Trey, can you get some bigger spiders?
Yes.
All right.
Get a mama spider.
Take a one that's knocked up. My baby! All right, anything else before we get to news?
He had a story. I have a couple emails. But when we talk sports, I really hate it when you guys try to talk sports. But this time
I don't like it either.
You managed to oversimplify sports analysis. There's more to analyzing sports than don't turn the ball over. Score more than the other team. I didn't expect to drive, or I didn't drive fast enough. That's probably all you idiots can understand about sports, so I don't know why you even try.
That's all there is to analysis.
Here's
why they won. Here's why they lost. Two teams, one's got to win. This team sucked. This team didn't.
We didn't suck as hard today.
In NASCAR, you ask one of the drivers who lost. I drove too slow. Okay? There you go. People drove faster. I didn't drive fast enough. But they don't want to do that. They want to break it down and then talk about the
springs and
the drafting off other cars or the undercurrent or
tire pressure.
Yeah. Blaming everything on everything else but me.
Sure.
I lost. I didn't drive fast enough.
It's the car.
My apologies to Pennzoil. Chuck, do you have any chalk?
Yes, sir.
Oh, dick. You guys feel free to say something while I'm sticking this in my mouth.
I didn't know which way you wanted to go. There's another email. Saw Hawkeye from KSCS wrote a book on being single. Why don't you write one on relationships and dealing with women? His book is called, I looked it up, The Single Man, the authorized true story of the single man's approach to life, love, and everything in between. I think he's still single. He's younger than you, but...
I thought is he really engaged?
He's engaged. Oh, he's engaged. That's right. Okay, he called up. That's right. He's just been single for so long, I forgot.
Plus, any advice I got, I give on the air for free. Who's going to buy a book after that? And that's not going to work in most relationships.
No, it's not.
No therapist is going to endorse it. Nobody's going to want to go along with it.
No, because it would only work in your situation.
In essence, it's really the way that you run a company. Somebody's going to have to be in charge. Not everything is going to have the power is going to be based on two people. You have to have one final say.
That's true.
And you can't.
I think most
in any entity, you can't have two people making judgment calls.
I think even most ministers lean that direction. Someone needs to be driving the boat, but everybody's feelings need to be brought into account.
That's stupid.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You want to be happy forever.
If you justify any of the idiocy that comes out of them, then it's going to continue.
You have to.
That's why when you go to a therapist, and if they're trying to make sure that everybody's feelings get out, even though there's no validity to one side, because you let them voice it, they feel better, and now they think that they were right.
Sometimes, maybe.
So as a result, you got to deal with that issue again instead of squashing it.
Why do you squash it?
Because you're gonna have to deal with it nonstop.
Maybe Amy occasionally has a point.
Don't be fantastic.
Everybody is a human being and has a point occasionally in a relationship.
Okay,
There's
well, if I'm arguing with you, you're wrong.
That's not true.
It is every time I've been around.
In your relationship, yes. But in most relationships, no. Occasionally, everybody has an opinion, and occasionally you'll say, you know, Russ, you went overboard on this one. You were wrong. And you need to say, you're right, Amy. I was wrong. I apologize. What's wrong with that if you really did it?
I may swallow my tongue.
Did you start drinking again?
No.
Were you outside smoking when I walked in?
No, yes, I was smoking outside. Well, I gave up the alcohol, so I picked up the cigs.
You've got to take charge.
I understand taking charge.
And I know Dr. Thornton doesn't like that because...
Most therapists.
That's why therapy takes years. Nobody wants to get to the root issue and deal with it. They want to make sure everybody stays happy, everybody feels like they're validated, and I got no time for that. And if you want real therapy, all it would take is about 45 minutes.
But you can't as one person.
And not week after week after week. That's why they try and let everybody talk, because they're going to bill you $150 every week. And if they get it situated in the first meeting, they're going to lose a bunch of cash. It's a screw job. It's a tongue in your poop.
There's no relationship where you're always right on every single issue.
I'm going to be close enough.
Why? She can't be right. Occasionally, you can't be wrong. You're human.
If she picks the same side that I'm on, she might be right.
Well, again, you're a very unique situation. Most relationships don't work that way.
I've been through enough, and I'm finally to the point where, like has called my house over the weekend. You going to call me back or not? To talk about the wedding.
Well, he says hard on for you all of a sudden, other than the fact that you're buddies and he wants to keep you from making the same mistake he's made 4 times.
And he just got out of a marriage.
Yeah.
And what was the last one? Was it 10 years?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So why does he think I'm going to make the same mistakes? Maybe he's marrying chicks who don't listen.
Well, maybe he doesn't go in like you are going in, which is complete control, and she's just more or less a pet in the house.
If anybody's going to have a handle on it, it's going to be Lycus.
Now, but maybe not in the old days. I'm not sure. I've never heard him until he came on the station. Has this always been his bit? Because somebody told me he used to be a regular talk show host.
Yeah, Gavin would know. Gavin.
Yes.
When was Lycus doing just regular talk radio?
That would be in the early 90s.
When did he switch to the...
Professor?
Yeah.
I would say probably 98, 99.
Oh, that would make sense then. He learned it with his last marriage, and the first 3 he didn't.
Well, and a lot of things that Lycus throws out, it's just to get the chicks twisted. So he's got somebody to chew on the phone.
Sure. Just getting people angry, getting people...
Whether he believes it or not, he throws that out. That stirs them up.
Like when you
then you can pound on chicks for a while.
Like you say things about fat women being useless.
I mean that.
You don't.
Very little that I say that I don't mean, especially in relationships. I went through enough bad relationships, jacking around, going to therapy, having conversations, stop, and then all of a sudden you get introspective and you go, well, maybe it is me. Perhaps I need to stop and think about this. I'll change, but only if it's going to be for me. That ain't the reason you're doing it. You're trying to keep this hot chick from running off and getting screwed by somebody else.
You're right.
You go through all the defense mechanisms. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe she's not really having dinner with her ex-boyfriend and getting plowed into puss.
God, here we go. Here we are. Always back to that. Your insecurities. My point...
I was right, though. It's not insecurity and it's not paranoia if you're right.
That one time you're right. How many times were you wrong? Did you sit out in front of people's houses and wait with this little portable TV and a pillow?
Because I didn't catch them doesn't mean it's not happening.
So no matter which way it goes, you're gonna think you were right. You just didn't catch them, or you did catch them and you were right. How about maybe they weren't doing anything? Maybe she was just out selling flowers. Maybe she was just out with that guy from... No, she was getting screwed that time.
The one from Colorado?
Yeah. That was sex. Sorry.
I should have cleaned the house.
No, you did the right thing. You went in, you addressed it, and he left, and that was the end of it. And you didn't go to jail, most importantly.
And what led up to that was I tolerated it.
Yeah.
If Amy said, I went to Colorado and Tiffany and I met this guy and some other people in the group, he wants to come to Dallas and have dinner. That's not going to happen.
That's today. That's you today. You're right. You have complete control in that relationship.
I just don't know why I allowed it for so long. And it really wasn't that long ago, 18 years.
I think it's a learning curve, and you just finally get to the point where you don't care anymore. I think it's an age thing. You get to the point where you go,
but why wouldn't you sit there when you're stalking somebody, when you're monitoring somebody's house?
I know. I can see myself in the car.
You got your blanket, you got a pillow, you got the TV to watch, because it gets boring. Stakeouts are very monotonous, especially when you don't catch anybody.
Right.
You're sitting in the car, and you're absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
There's
if
no way
to walked up and saw you, you'd be embarrassed.
There's no way to say, you don't tell anybody. You can't.
I said you ever brag about to your buddies. Guess what I did last night? I sat out in front of her house all night with a pillow and a television. I don't think I want you as a friend anymore.
You can't even. You're going through a lot of grief. You can't share it with anybody because you don't want to know people to know how spineless you are.
No, you're right. That's one thing. You can't even call your buddies and go, "Will you come over and help me with this?"
Yeah, come over and spell me because I'm getting a little dizzy.
You're sad. Go out and find somebody else. For every door that closes,
I'll slam your head in one. And JD's the last person you want to call for any type of consolation.
I'm right.
Because then you start getting the little Hallmark comments.
But I'm right.
Platitudes.
Oh, you get the another bus comes along. Every door closes, another one opens.
Fish in the ocean. It's true.
Plenty of fish in the sea. Every time a El Dorado backfires, some guy gets a gold tooth. All those, and that doesn't do anything for me as far as consoling me.
I realized that as I look back, that at that moment is not helping that person. But at the time, I know it's true, and so I'm trying to impart that to you. You're in the middle of the storm. You don't want to hear it.
You can't tell anybody anything that's going to be consoling when they're going through.
It's like the day somebody gets
a
fired
breakup
or anything else horrible happens. You can't go, well, you know you're good, and you know another job will come along. I got fired today.
I got no job. You got a job. I don't got no job. Look, easy to sit there and tell me things are going to get brighter when you're sitting there with a job.
I gotta go.
I don't have a job. I believe I'll kill you and take your job. I'll feel better, and you'll be gone.
We have a staff meeting. I got to run.
Anybody else do any stalking? Monitoring? Surveillance? Not you, Dan?
No. I've been inclined to, but I thought, no.
Well, don't make this just a me and him thing. Who else?
No, I'm sorry. I wish I could jump in and say, yeah, I remember the time when, but...
Well, I know Gavin has, because when I suggested it...
He was right. You were right.
And he caught 2 chicks.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
And never a thank you from Gavin.
Oh, well, no! I totally thanked you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
When I originally told you, here's what's going on, you need to check up on her, you told me I was being paranoid.
I thanked you after.
And you caught 2 chicks.
Yes.
And why did you wig out on either one of them? I know we covered this at length a few months ago, but how you didn't just explode when you saw it?
I kind of exploded after.
After doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, took her on a plane with you an hour after you saw her kiss somebody.
I know that.
I'm sorry.
You catch a chick, make it out. How is it you justify that in your mind? I'll take her to Boston with me to meet my parents. We were going to go anyway. I got the ticket. What are you thinking on the plane?
You know,
sort of how to get her out that little window.
I didn't talk to her on the plane.
You didn't discuss any of it?
Put her in her place.
No, we discussed it at the airport, and I just didn't want to talk to her at that point.
That makes me nauseous for Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really pounding on Gavin because obviously having a fit isn't going to do anything. It's only going to make you look maniacal, and there's no positive out of it. You take the high road. But nothing fun happens up there. At least if you have a fit, she freaks out, the guy freaks out, and you feel like you vented. If you keep it inside and there's no explosion, you're just going to die.
And I'm one of the guys that I always stand back, think of the best thing to do, but I can't imagine how he did that. I would have had to get out of the car and walked up there and said, okay, isn't this cute?
Gavin, when you're sitting in the car and you're watching her make out with this guy.
Right. Yeah.
And she was supposed to be at your house a half an hour ago. So now, not only is she making out with somebody, now she's rude about being late. What are you thinking while you're sitting in your car?
Just pounding the steering wheel.
Did it ever occur to you, I'm going to get out?
Oh, absolutely.
What kept you in?
Her coming to my house, and
you didn't know she was going to come to your house.
Yeah, no, I knew she was meeting me there so we can go to the
She's making out with a guy in the parking lot. She might have changed plans.
No, because she called me on the way home.
I can't make it right now, honey. I'm packing a penis.
She called you on the way to your house, but you didn't know at that moment that you turned around and the moment you put it in park to go back home, you didn't know where she was going.
No.
Drive your truck in park?
As soon as I saw that...
That's why you get sucky gas mileage. What, Gavin?
As soon as I saw that, I drove home. When she was done...
I understand, but the question is, you're sitting in the car. What kept you from getting out while you're watching them tongue kiss in a parking lot?
I have no idea. I guess I'm probably wrong for this. I've always been under the sense that it's not the guy's fault. It's the woman's fault.
Okay, well, you can still chew her ass in front of him.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, when you got her home, did you chew her ass then?
Yes.
What did you say? Because I don't think we ever got this part of the story.
Not this far.
Well, I just screamed and, things like, how could you? Why would you do that? And she came up with some story that, she wasn't going to see him anymore. They were just friends.
It was a nice little goodbye.
It was a goodbye, and he, he's very, tough, and he's very convincing. So, she did it that one time. She'll never do it again. And, man, my stomach's turning. So that was it. And I bought it. She was very convincing.
You know what? The couple of the chicks that I dated, I was so wrapped up in that. Had I actually caught one of them having sex, I probably would have gone back and justified in my mind, especially if she gave me a nice song and dance afterwards.
Like this one did to Gavin. Never happened again.
Yeah.
Maybe she's fantasizing about me while banging her.
That would be the most pathetic. Probably thinking of me.
How many other pathetic things have we thrown out in our heads while you're sitting there monitoring somebody's house? And you're playing through your head, what am I going to do if she's out on a date and he drops her off?
Yeah.
And you're playing it out in your head. Well, what do I do? Do I confront them both? Do I wait till he's gone? Or do I just take them both?
Kill them in the darkness of night.
Right. Get my sunglasses and leave.
I don't know. I never even thought that through when I was out there in front of her house that time. Never even thought, really, that's stupid.
And then finally, you break in your head and you go, all right, this is absurd. I've been out here for a long time.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened. Screw her. I'm done with the relationship. You drive away and you're thinking, that bitch just got home. You turn back around and you go sit there for another 2 or 3 hours.
By the time she gets home when she goes out with people.
And then you go, you have the moment of clarity again. I'm worth more than this. I'm better than this. I don't deserve to be treated like this. I'm leaving, and I'm going to start dating. You get around the corner, you go, I'll be got, and you... Obviously, they just pulled up. You go back. What's that beeping?
Yeah, that's my song.
Oh.
You might as well...
And then you go back and you sit for another 2 hours.
You might as well sleep there because you're going to go home and you're going to toss and you're going to turn it. And in your mind, they're screwing.
Oh, God.
Have you been through any of this?
That's the worst.
Oh, yeah. You know some of the crap I've been through.
Did you do any late-night surveillance?
I never did any what I'd call monitoring, but I certainly drove by to see whose car was parked in whose place. And, oh, God, that gut-wrenching, nauseating. You...
Just tell me. Show me. Just let me get past this.
Oh, yeah, you'll beg them. Just tell me you're screwing somebody so I can get out of this relationship and I'll be done. I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I believe you.
No, I would sit there and beg one. Just tell me you're screwing somebody and I can be done with this.
I'm not going to do anything, I swear.
You'll be done with me forever. We'll never have to cover this again. I'll be gone. You got the new guy, and I'll go. Please, to Jesus, just tell me. I'm not doing anything. I can't stand this. That's one chick. I would punch holes in her walls, and I stopped that, A, after I found a stud, and B, when you got to go back and fix him.
Yeah, the stud will stop that. Didn't you have a cop actually ask you to leave one time? The girl's apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I called her and went, I want my stuff. Well, I'll leave it someplace. Just Put it on your front door, and I'll come get it.
That seems easy. Done? Is that?
Yeah. I said, I'll be there in a half an hour. I got there early, and I waited for the door to open for her to stick the stuff out, and then I went in. She said, I saw you sitting out there. I've already called the police. Yeah.
Sure you have. That's
beat me off again. 15 minutes later, Batman and Robin come flying in. These were 2 Dallas cops, and neither one of them
done anything. Why'd you call the police? I forgot. Did you threaten to do something?
She saw me in the parking lot, and now I'm in the house.
Okay. Up until that moment, you had a relationship. Why is that worth calling the police? Unless you'd threatened to do something.
No.
What had you said you might do when you got there?
There were a lot of things that came out of my head. Yeah. I get very wound up.
That's probably why she called the police.
And the door opens, and there are the cops, and went, well, the one time you don't lie to me. We're going to haul your ass to jail. Finally, they let me go.
He had an attitude, though. One of the cops did.
Both of them were mad about something.
But you did something or said something.
I left a bunch of voicemails. Back then, it was an answering machine.
That's right.
And now she's playing them for the cops.
Oh, what a moment. 3 against 1.
And each message was, you don't talk to me about this relationship. You know what's going to happen. Each one ended like that. And the last one was, and this was a chick, I was dating her best friend.
Oh.
So the last message was, you don't talk to me about this relationship. I'm going to tell Diane, your best friend that I'm dating, that you've been screwing me. And I'm just praying to God she plays all the messages for the cop before he pulls that asp out and starts wailing on me.
Didn't he get in your face though? Something about don't do this to a Dallas.
I forgot what I said. He said, a Dallas cop tells you something, you do it. I went, I'm all for that.
I voted for that in the last election.
Wait a second.
Why?
You're having a knockdown drag out with not your girlfriend, but the girl you're cheating with?
Yes.
Oh, I thought everybody caught that first time through.
Did you miss that?
It took me a while to really
I was dating Diane for 3 or 4 years. She had this hot roommate, so I started screwing her roommate. That was Sandy. That was the one that called the cops on me. You bitch!
This is a breakup fight with his cheater.
I was already done with the other relationship.
I know.
I'd been very busy. Haven't had a chance to discuss it with Diane.
I was about to say, did Diane know that?
No. She didn't know till 10 years later. Like a buffoon, I'm talking about it on the air over at the Eagle. Then I started getting voice answering machine messages from her. I ain't calling her. I'm not even picking up the phone.
Well, she's past it now.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
No.
I talked to her.
I'm not going anywhere near her. You bring her up here, I will leave the country. I don't know why I'm still scared of her.
I don't either.
I could probably take her if I had some help.
You could take her. I just think this really is something you ought to bring her in here. Just say hello, get it over with, and let her leave. And
it's over with. This was 1988.
You're still afraid of her.
20. I'm going to stay afraid of her, even if she tells me it's okay.
If she came in here and said, you know what's really cool, give me a hug. I've moved on. I got a family, which is what she wrote to me.
Let me ask, is she here? Because you guys pulled this crap on me before, said you brought her up here. In fact, Trey kept threatening day after day he was going to have her come up. Is she here?
Trey was the last one to speak to her.
Do we need a break? Yes. My keys.
Don't leave. She's not here today.
When was the last time you talked to her? Then we got a break.
A couple weeks ago.
And she said what?
I just stay in touch with her to make sure that she's still available to come up when the time's right.
Come up and do what?
Just say hello.
I've seen her.
I know. Get it over. Just give a hug. Let it go. Let the past be the past. And you guys hug. She'll hug you and she'll leave. And that way you'll never have to worry about that again.
Confront your fears.
No. Fight or flight. I've chosen the latter. Don't bring her up here.
Not today.
Ever. You can keep the $6,000 that you owe me. Break here? All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. to the Russ Martin Show.
Hey, this is Hawkeye. Join the Dorsey Gang weekday mornings on the Big 96.3 KSCS. Now back to the Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3. Hey there. Thanks,
Hawkeye.
What's that?
What is it, Ryan?
That's not me. I think it's Kevin.
Oh.
Oh,
Hello?
what the heck was that?
It's called a rejoin. It's when you come out of commercials.
It's a rejoin for another radio station.
What was it you talked to me about 2 or 3 days ago?
Exactly what I'm talking about. Total disrespect for this building.
You asked me to cross-promote other shows.
Yeah, other shows on Live 105.3.
You were very vague.
Oh, you got it. No, serious. No.
I've had jocks from all over the city cut them.
No. Seriously, Russ, that's not cool, man.
Amazingly, they were all quick to jump on it.
Well, of course they are. It's the #1 show. No. We have great shows on this radio station.
I don't have any liners for them.
Well, did you ask anyone to cut liners?
No.
Okay, well, fine. I'll have people
Well, I asked Hawkeye, Bo and Jim, Jody Dean, that Zaza guy.
You're kidding.
I don't even like that show. I just like his name.
Yeah.
Zaza.
I am the Zaza.
Yeah.
There's no way to say that ain't sexy.
No.
Yeah.
Step into the den of the Zaza.
Yeah. Come to me.
I'll undress you. Eat you like a red cracker. With cheese.
For you are.
Because as we've all heard, everything's better when it sits on nuggets.
Thank you, Zaza.
Do you have any liners you want me to run?
Yes.
Where are they?
We have liners for Jagger. We have liners for Pugs and Kelly.
I don't have them.
Well, I'll prepare some for you. I'll get the host to cut them.
All right. I don't know if I'm going to have time to run them because I got all these others to get out of the way.
That's what I'm talking about. That's ridiculous. That's seriously ridiculous. If this station does well, we all benefit.
If I do well, I benefit.
Well, that's true. But if the radio station benefits, we all benefit.
I don't get anything out of that. What's in it for me? What's in it for me if I run promos for other shows on this station? What do I get out of it? What's in it for me?
Every week and a half, a paycheck with a lot of zeros.
I get those anyway. Right. What's in it for me?
The pleasure of knowing that you're on a top radio station in town.
I'm on a top-rated show in town. What's in it for me? Last chance.
Well, I guess on the surface, there's nothing in it for you.
Thank you. No time for this.
That's hilarious. You got Hawkeye. Do you really have all those other people?
Yeah.
I'm sure they jump on it. Why wouldn't they?
They were all quick to send their tapes in.
Yeah.
What's the email?
Oh, this is from Jared from Bowling for Soup. Hey there, hope all is well. Just want to say thanks again for the support on the Jeff Rowe Memorial Show a few weeks ago. We talked about it on the air. Also, wanted to invite you to the world premiere of the new Bowling for Soup DVD. It's a movie. We will be showing it March 31st at the Angelica at 7:30.
And he wants to come on the show.
He didn't say that. He just
That's why I sent it.
Please know if you'd like to come out, I'll leave you tickets at the door.
And he wants to come on the show and promote it.
Lastly, Eric and I are playing an acoustic show at the R Bar in Denton this Friday. If you want to come to that, tickets at the door. Thanks again for always being there for us. Hope to see you soon.
And he wants to come on the show.
Well, he would, yes. I'm sure he asked to come on before and sing acoustically 1985 with you.
I'll ask you the same question I asked him. What's in it for me? What do I get?
It would be fun to have him in here.
What's in it for me?
You can sing along with Jared.
I don't know that song.
You know 1985.
I know the guitar parts. I don't know the words. What's in it for me? What do I get?
Well, he can sing.
What were the deals that you used to work with the record companies, and I'll do that.
I never worked.
Does he have cash?
I never worked.
I'd like a van.
He's got cash.
I'd like a new Good Times van. Trey, you want one?
I'd love a Good Times
A
van.
nice mural on the side with the naked people on the mountain and the waterfall.
Absolutely.
I'd like one with a wolf.
All right. Vans for everyone.
All right.
No vans. I'm sorry.
So what do I get?
Have people would listen. People like Jared.
See if he's got any cash.
Well, I'm sure he does. He's not going to pay to come on here.
Blow. People pay. Huh?
No. He's a.
Can he get some blow?
No.
At first, I wasn't sure what Trey wanted. Can he get us some blow?
Absolutely.
If he can get some blow, he can come on.
No, he's not going to do that. I'm sure. No, he won't do it.
Weed?
I don't think he does that. No, he's a family man with a kid.
Meth?
No illegal drugs of any kind.
Ludes?
No.
Lorazepam?
Would you like him to come in and sing? You can bring him and his buddy Eric, and they can just sing acoustically. You don't even have to sing. You don't know the song.
As long as he brings some type of
you can play your guitar
narcotics
and play with them.
Nothing over the counter.
Okay, I'll see what he has in his little cabinet.
Okay.
On the bus.
Just tell me what day.
Okay, what day? If you really wanted him in, let me look here. The acoustic set is on this Friday at the R Bar in Denton. The DVD is next Friday. You want him in at all? If he can find out, assuming he can bring the loads.
Yes.
Okay.
Next Monday's fine.
Okay.
Anything else before we get to news?
It's a news story, but it's interesting to say the least.
All right, go ahead.
Of the 28,000 commercial airline flights that take to the skies on an average day in the U.S., fewer than 1% are protected by onboard armed federal air marshals. This according to a nationwide CNN investigation.
Was this information released by the government?
This is according to a nationwide CNN investigation.
Which means we probably didn't release that information. So why would CNN publish that?
It's interesting news to people.
I don't want anybody to know that. I don't want anybody to know the airline. House is unlocked. I'm leaving.
Won't be home for months.
No alarms, no dogs, nobody's keeping an eye on the house. Everything's here. I left the receipts on top of everything.
Yeah, if they cancel the program altogether, don't tell us. I know they haven't done that. They still have thousands of air marshals that fly every day, I believe.
Well, they're not getting on the planes.
The story keeps going. It says that means a terrorist or other criminal bent on taking over an aircraft would be confronted by a trained air marshal on as few as 280 daily flights, according to more than a dozen federal air marshals and pilots interviewed by CNN. The Transportation Safety Administration flatly denied those reports. Greg Alter, the assistant special agent in charge of the Air Marshal program, said the 280 number grossly understates coverage by an order of magnitude and that the number is 4 digits, but he would not elaborate. In a post on its website responding to the CNN story, the TSA said it would not disclose the number of air marshals flying each day so as not to tip our hand to terrorists. However,
that's borderline, on CNN's part, that's borderline treason.
I agree.
To release that information, if nobody else has come across that, the government hasn't released it, why you want to give all the terrorists the heads up? The odds are really in your favor. You're not going to have any type of confrontation.
That backed off on the Air Marshal program. We kind of knew that, but we didn't know any numbers.
A lot of the people that work at the TSA at the airports, they're just standing there watching crap go through. People are getting stopped with what did Joy get stopped with?
A cigarette lighter and bottled water.
People are going through. They're doing tests. People going through with guns, bombs, but they're getting all the liquids.
They get all of their lighters every time.
It looks like a Amway storage house next to TSA at all the airports. Yep. They get that. The important stuff, I got no time for that because they're too busy focusing on the liquids
and
all the other innocuous crap that's really not going to do any damage.
No, they keep telling us all the details. Oh, bombs are coming through like it's a bombs are us, just shipping them through.
Has anybody else released this about the air marshals?
No, this is a CNN investigation.
Somebody should really call them on that.
You really should.
Obviously, you have freedom of the press, but also this is information. First of all, the government's denied. And now you've just sent out a bulletin across the planet. We got no protection on the planes.
Taking them all out. Well, in the same time, they ought to include this part in the story. The Federal Flight Deck Officer Program, I found out last night, they've got over 10,000 pilots now.
They're not on the planes.
The pilots are.
The pilots.
Yeah.
The ones shooting themselves?
That happened once.
And at least all of the cockpit doors are now secured.
All of them.
Or is that still something that's in progress?
No, those are all secured. All the doors are secured.
Because right after 9/11, they decided, all right, we're going to secure all the cockpit doors, and they come out and say it's going to probably take a year and a half. Why didn't you just say they were already secured? It was something that was a priority. We did it now.
We did it overnight.
As opposed to telling them, we can't get to this.
I believe the number was 2 years. Oh, terrorists have plenty of time to practice then.
We can't even fix the locks on the doors. Most of them swing open and close. Some of them you see through. I don't know why it is we feel like we've got to just put on display all our weaknesses and ask. It's an invitation.
It's this mentality of freedom of the press. It's America. Everything's out there. So these people feel they can do that, and they can print it. And even the government says that's not true. Okay, we'll give us the real numbers. No, and they go in that article, they go, no.
And the purpose of this story is what? What's going to come from this?
Nothing. But
I can't, as a passenger on a flight, I can't change anything. No. I can't take weapons to protect myself. I can't be any more vigilant than I already am.
It's not much different than the Brett Shipp report about the big VOR station out at DFW Airport that was unlocked.
Brett Shipp didn't do that.
Who did that one?
It doesn't matter, but what was the story?
Just that the gate was unlocked at a radio transmitter facility on the airport. The door was locked. Nobody can get in. And if you knew about it, the whole thing was they sat on it for 6 weeks. We stood around and watched this thing open for 6 weeks.
No, who was that?
Dan Ronan.
Yeah. We called the police. We, as in me, went back and made phone calls. There were no 911 calls of you calling the police or anybody else. You just sat out there and watched it. We watched it for 2 or 3 weeks.
We drop by occasionally. It's always open. We can put a Denny's sign out there. Always open. That's the part. If it's that serious, you report it now. If it's not that serious, shut up about it.
Well, if there's going to be something that comes from that.
Right.
You do this story, they go out there and they lock it up. Saying that we don't have any air marshals on the flights or that the odds are that you're never going to come across one. There's no purpose to that story.
None.
The CNN would probably say that it's in order to inform the public that the government is not doing its job and they need to know about it so they can complain and it can be changed.
None of that's going to change. No. And in the interim, we're open.
As an individual, you can scream and holler all you want. Who are you going to call? We are the 3 of us, 4, 5, or 6 of us get mad about this. Who am I going to call? TSA?
I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to have a fit on the air and go home.
There you go. That's what most people would do.
So nothing's going to change.
Nothing's going to change.
And again, I still point to treason.
You're absolutely right. If you're just giving away more or less secrets that should remain that way of our security, that's really borderline.
Or perhaps you go to the government and ask, is any of this going to be changed? We're going to print this story. Are we going to up anything? That way, the government has a chance to respond and says, here's what we're going to do. So then you've got the story and you've got resolve at the end of it.
Yep. The only thing they have in that story is they went and they asked him, well, how many do you have a day? And
they said, we're not going to tell you anything. Well, that doesn't comfort me. I ain't getting on a plane.
And that doesn't help our airline industry, which is in the greatest of shapes right now anyway.
I don't think people really think about terrorists when they get on a flight to go someplace. This is only information that terrorists care about.
You know what? Every time I fly, I still look around. And it's sad to say, you profile people.
What are you going to do?
Nothing, except watch them closely. They get up to do something suspicious.
And you're going to call the stewardess, and then what?
No, you think of ways you could actually physically stop somebody.
I'm getting off the plane.
Not in mid-flight. Somebody stands up and puts a red bandana on their head. What are you going to do?
I'm going to the other side of the plane.
All of it crashes.
I'm still going to the other side of the plane.
Stay away from the blast.
Yeah. All right. You ready to start news?
Yeah, I had more airline thing.
It's you've said enough.
Okay.
And now we're culpable of CNN as far as treason because we broadcast it. All right, here we go. 4:49. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. Tuesday, March 25th, 2008. Birthdays today. Catherine McPhee turns 24. Danica Patrick is 26. Sarah Jessica Parker turns 43. Marcia Cross from Desperate Housewives is 46. Elton John, 61. And Starsky from Starsky and Hutch. Paul Michael Glazer turns 65. And Aretha Franklin turns 66.
Did JD tell you the story about Pugs coming out of the building yesterday?
No.
I've been driving the Starsky and Hutch car because my truck's theoretically being serviced.
Gotcha.
He walks by, he says, whose Torino's that? He said, it's Russ's. That's cool. It's a nice paint job. Why'd he pick those colors?
I thought he was kidding with me, but he looked me straight in the face with that straight look. He goes, what? He didn't actually pick that design. Oh, okay, well, it's cool. I'll tell him. He said so.
All right, good.
David Patterson, the new governor of New York, who was, of course, sworn in last week and immediately admitted to cheating on his wife several times. Patterson said it had been years since his last affair, and even though he admitted taking his ladies to hotels, he swore he'd never spent state or campaign money on any of them. But now credit card records show he used state money to rent 13 hotel rooms since the beginning of 2007, racking up a bill for $2,500. That's on top of the 24 hotel rooms he paid for using campaign funds.
Is he legally blind or is he blind?
He's legally blind.
So he can see something.
I think he can see lights and shadows.
Because he sounds legally retarded.
It's like he just wants to get got the gig.
Did he release this information?
I'm not sure, but he admitted to the affairs.
The credit card records show he used the state money for the 13 hotel rooms. That's on top of the 24 he paid for using campaign funds. And while it's okay to use state funds for a hotel room if you absolutely need it for work, Patterson didn't. He owns a house just 20 minutes away from the hotels he stayed in. Not to mention the fact that because he's nearly blind, he has a chauffeur. So what's another 20 minutes in a car if you're being driven around? The spokesman for Patterson claims he got the hotel room so he could quickly respond to the urgent needs of the state. Except for the fact lieutenant governors rarely have much to do with day-to-day operations as it is. Patterson hasn't personally commented on any of the charges, but last week he reimbursed his campaign fund for a whopping $250 he spent on hotel rooms and simply forgot to pay.
I thought when he came out and fessed up along with his wife to the affairs, initially I thought that was a good idea. Mm-hmm. You get it out, everybody's happy. Or somebody else finds it, yeah. I think that was a catalyst for them to start digging around. Because they found out he didn't have just a few affairs, and it wasn't years ago. They said the last one was rumored to be just a few months ago. Right. And if you're blind, why do you think you're going to be able to get away with this?
Probably he's got somebody watching his back.
Well, that means somebody else knows.
Oh, of course.
And if you're going to go through that, nobody needs to know because sooner or later somebody's going to drop dime on you. And if you're blind, you don't know who else is in the room.
Well, he's got a chauffeur. That person's going to know automatically.
Well, if he drives him to a hotel, he doesn't really know why he's going there. But he also has to have help getting upstairs.
Yeah. And he also came out today, it was today or yesterday, admitted, like, yeah, I did coke when I was younger.
Yeah, that's the next story.
Yeah. New York Governor David Patterson admitted during a TV interview Monday that he used cocaine and marijuana in his early 20s. Appearing on an NY1 political show, Patterson was asked about using cocaine and said he'd tried it a couple of times when he was 22 or 23.
Did they know anything about his cocaine usage? Is that why they asked? Because normally you ask somebody if they've ever done cocaine, you got a reason.
That I'm not sure.
Well, then he's just an idiot, and they know that they can ask him anything. You ever screw dogs?
Not what do you know? Not maybe. Not. Yep, sure. Yeah, lots of them. One before I got here.
Aubrey
was in the car.
Yeah, I caught a stray on the way up here. God, I love Stray Strange. Waiting on you, Dan.
Sorry. And about marijuana, he said he hadn't touched it since the late 70s.
The lights came on.
Patterson said that during his 2006 campaign for lieutenant governor, he had been asked on camera about drug use, and he said he had answered in the affirmative. So, yeah, he was asked previously about it. One of those general, you're running for office, hey, have you done drugs?
Then you stay general. And if they ask you for specifics, you say it was a long time ago, I don't remember. And if if you were never busted, there's no other record of it, prove I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess maybe there's probably somebody will pop up that he did it with and go, and I was in the room watching him do it. I was the only one seeing him do it.
Well, and his timeline seemed to be so bad. You know, he's saying in the 70s, someone could pop up and go, that's probably 95, 96.
And Patterson, of course, is regarded in New York as a politician of integrity who is capable of building consensus in the Capitol in Albany after the Spitzer shakeup.
Is that all they can get for governor of New York? Is coke snorting sluts?
You get that guy. You get the mayor of Detroit, who's now in a sex scandal too.
Was that the one who was originally caught banging as a
chief of staff?
Yes,
chief of staff,
Kwame Kilpatrick.
What has he done?
Well, we have the story. In 2002, Kilpatrick started an affair with his former chief of staff, 37-year-old Christine Beatty. At the time, they were both married with kids. Then, in 2003, 2 Detroit police officers caught wind of a rumor that he was using his security guards to cover up an affair. When they looked into the claim, Kilpatrick had them fired, so they filed a lawsuit. During the investigation, Kilpatrick and Christine swore under oath that they weren't involved and never had sex, but that defense came crashing down after hundreds of sexually explicit text messages were found on their phones. The messages contained info about Kilpatrick and Christine's sex life.
Are all these people fools?
Yes.
You can't put anything documented, whether it's electronic or otherwise, you can't put it anywhere.
And you would think if you're in the public eye, somebody's got it out for you, period. Somebody's got it out for us, and we're not even in the public life.
Well, even Spitzer knew, is that his name?
Yes.
Even he knew, before he got caught, he knew all the pitfalls of ways to get caught. He talked about it during national interviews, and he did exactly the same thing, sending text messages back and forth. Hey, they found those.
Emails.
Now, what you think?
And you just know he's rattled so many cages. You just got to stay clean for a while until you're out of office.
Well, you know, shuffling around money back and forth, the government's going to spot that. You know, in the positions that you've been in, people are going to keep tabs on that, especially when you've got as many people that you put away. Organized crime, whatever. They have people outside. They're going to be watching you.
It's kind of amazing it took you this long to find him, really, to find this out about him. There's many people that apparently hate his ass.
Especially in the financing it, because he cost Wall Street, I think, it's like $140 billion in fines, penalties, and all this other stuff. So they had to know someone, whoever he's banking with, was watching him like a hawk.
Probably the original way this came up.
Yeah.
Somebody kept tabs on it.
Money's moving.
Alerted the feds, then he's out. And wasn't there another how are we doing, Cliff?
Breaking one.
Wasn't there another story about Spitzer, about some, he liked to watch people screw?
Yeah, I've, of course, been following that in...
And this is another reason I don't waste time voting.
You can't relate those two things.
Yes, I can.
Why?
Because you don't know what anybody's doing in their private life.
But that's still...
And look in New York. They just went, they're about to go through two governors who both have been using public funds for different things, affairs, and one of them's an idiot. He's telling everybody.
Everybody has some skeletons, but it should look bad for New York because they've had two idiots in a row. You're right. But
and
so
look,
you just throw out the whole process of voting?
And the latest comment that Hillary made at one of the press conferences she was talking about when she went to, was it Iraq?
No, it was Kosovo.
Okay. We land. It was supposed to be. I was supposed to have some greeting. We land. We're under fire. We got to duck and cover and run and save ourselves. I think it was CBS News said that's not what happened. Close.
We were there.
Yeah. They said there was nothing.
Why would you bring that up? What's your point in lying?
Just being overly dramatic about her world experience.
Right.
And
my commitment to this country. I was first lady when this happened, and I still went over there. We land under fire, and we got to run for our lives.
Trying to compare herself maybe to John Cain. I've been in the harm's way, too.
CBS came out with a story.
That sucks.
Either she went on a trip with somebody else, or this didn't happen.
Well, we got flowers in there.
And now Hillary says, well, I misspoke. No, misspeaking is throwing out a couple of numbers wrong, asking for $250,000 to run a garage to manage a bunch of monkeys, or ask for $300,000 in new equipment that Daryl wants. That's misspeaking, because that's not going to happen.
Yes.
But to say I was under fire and I feared for my life, no. You're just playing it up.
CBS was right there. We got video footage of you having a mimosa.
What is it, Trey?
Well, a lot of people question that on the front end because first ladies go with Secret Service, and Secret Service usually has a pretty good handle on
what's being fired on.
Yeah, about a clearing zone between wherever something's landing.
They know what lies ahead. All right. Break here.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Hi, this is John Dillon. Join me afternoons on Lone Star 92.5. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3.
You call me? What?
radio stations. Cross-promoting means cross-promoting other shows on this radio station.
That's not what you told me.
Just promote other shows.
Yeah. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Russ.
What do you got?
WGN Superstation. On the Bush Turnpike westbound at the tollway, there's an accident. It's over on the shoulder now. On northbound Central at McComas, there's a wreck. It's off to the left shoulder. On I-30 westbound, just before Beckley, you've got the right lane blocked on the bridge. Traffic is backed up in through the Canyon area. On 114 in Grapevine, westbound at 121 northbound, there's a wreck in the left lane causing a backup to Freeport Parkway. In Fort Worth, southbound 35 North Freeway past North Side, a wreck just reported, and it's just in the middle of heavy traffic. Plano Road at Forest, there's a wreck at the intersection. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. All right, weather-wise, it's going to be about 50 degrees for the overnight low tonight, and then up into the 80s tomorrow. Same thing for Thursday. Maybe showers on Friday. 77 now at Live 105.3.
I can't remember if we talked about this on the air or not. Did you, Chloe, did you say why you went to check on that chick?
I couldn't get a hold of her for some reason, didn't know where she was at. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go to her house, had a key for her apartment. And I just went there and I was like, we were kind of like in a little bit of a fight, but not really. We're trying to straighten things out. And I was like, I'm just going to go there and sit there for a while.
Well, now, were you going there to check on her, or were you going there because you had this vibe?
Both. Because I couldn't get a hold of her. I was like I know she was kind of hanging out with her manager at work and other stuff. And she hadn't called me like about a day.
Is the same chick that both you and her worked at a car rental place?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And that blows because they would drive, both Chloe and her would drive rental cars.
Okay.
So you couldn't really drive by and see if she was home or not because you don't know what she's driving.
Every day it's different.
Yeah, you never knew. Uh-huh. And so it was hard.
So I forget. We talk about this on the air?
Not on the air.
All right, good.
Oh, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go up to the apartment. Screw it. Just going to go. So I was walking up to the apartment, and there was two people making out in a car.
Oh.
And I took a second look, and it's her and her manager guy, which I didn't really know him. We worked at the same place, but not the same location.
All right.
And so I freaked out. I wanted to pound on the window, but I didn't. You know what? I'm just going to go up to the apartment. Just going to go up to the apartment. So I went to the apartment, got in. And I was sitting there pacing around the apartment going, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
You're waiting for the date to be over so you can address it.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
That's hard.
And so...
Oh, no, this is a lot more intriguing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so then I hear the door kind of rattle around. And I hear the two voices outside. So I'm thinking he's outside. So I run back to the bedroom, which is like an efficiency, so it's all straight.
Got it.
Run back to the bedroom, and I hide behind the bed. Still freaking out, didn't know what to do.
So now they come in the house and they start making out.
They're getting ready to go after it.
Yeah. And so I'm hearing all this going on, and I'm just holding my breath and just wondering what to do. And
how long?
Anger's building up. It's about 10 minutes because they're kind of talking. They're in the kitchen and they're getting drinks together. Yeah. And so they're getting drinks and they're kind of smooching.
Trey, are you bored? I see you watching TV.
No, hearing everything that's going on.
You put it on something else?
No, I really wasn't watching it.
All right, my mistake. You were looking at it.
I was looking this way because I'm just sitting here playing in my mind the times I've just wanted to just beat the crap out of people and things and chicks that have kicked me over.
We'll get to you in a minute.
God, this room's just a ball of anger today.
I'm happy I'm past it, and that's probably one reason that I came to terms with Amy is I haven't had to deal with any of that from day one with this relationship.
You're right.
And I'm not going to go back and tolerate any of the crap that I put up with.
Again,
because the chicks didn't really put you through it. You allowed it to happen.
Sure, absolutely. I could have kicked that one to the curb the first time she pulled any crap. Should have been the last time. It wasn't.
All right, so they're making out in the house. You're hiding in the bedroom.
Hiding in the bedroom, hide in the bed. And eventually they make their way into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And they just fall on the bed. So when they fall on the bed, it was just like a two-way spring. I sprung up from behind the bed and just screamed just like, ah! Like that. And then I start yelling at him, what the F are you doing? I mean, I started yelling at her, what the F are you doing? Try not to look at him. What the F are you doing? I can't believe you did this. Is this the manager guy that you've been hanging out with? And she just starts crying. And he was kind of fearful at first, and then he starts to kind of bow up.
Ooh.
And then I don't remember how we started making our way.
What's the matter?
Just getting worked up.
What'd you say to him?
See, I don't remember what I was saying to him. I mean, except for like leave. That's the only thing I remember was
All
saying
right, so no confrontation between you and him. Finally, he just vanished.
Get the F out of here. We just kind of made our way toward the door, and she was like, he was like, are you going to be okay? You going to be okay? It's like, she's going to be fine. We just have some things to talk about. You just need to get the F out right now. So, and then after that, I don't remember what we discussed or what we said or nothing. And that was pretty much the end of the relationship.
Did she try and put a spin on it?
She was claimed that we didn't hang out as much anymore. We don't pay attention to me, things like that.
Well, you can't hang out with her a whole lot if she's f***ing other people.
I tried to hang out, but I stayed back behind the bed as long as I could.
Yeah, that's about all. Because I wanted to stay a little longer to see, how far it would go, where I could catch him naked, but I couldn't stand it any longer.
Oh, well, I think if I'd gone that far, I'm going to wait until they're naked. That just in your clothing and screaming.
Yeah.
There's something funny about a naked guy running out the door.
Yeah, especially in that situation, because now you got the upper hand because you got clothes.
Yeah.
Plus, I laid on the side of the bed, listened to her for a while, and pounded off a couple of rounds.
That your girlfriend's getting banged by somebody else?
Yeah. Kind of erotic.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you think of afterwards. You just jump it up. Hey, what's going on? You mind if I get it?
Yeah. Just peel your clothes off, hop up.
Yeah.
You should have jumped on the dude.
You done with
Yeah.
that?
I call mouth.
Just jump up and
I get mouth because we've been dating.
Jump up and finish on his face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So how did it end? Did you ever contemplate staying with her?
I kind of did. Because on the way, because I left after we had talked for like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
What's to say for 2 hours?
I don't remember.
You caught her
what
right in the middle of it.
Yeah, they were in the bed.
I don't remember what all
you
we
didn't
talked
catch
about.
somebody at dinner, a situation that could have been innocuous.
No.
Nothing really got too far. You just happened to show up. There they are at Abuelo's having dinner. And then at that point, because you didn't see anything happen, your mind will defend her.
Well, sure. That's boss and that's an employee. They're allowed to go to dinner.
Yeah. But you didn't get to that point. What's to talk about for 2 hours?
I don't remember the conversation. I honestly just remember
Trey, are you
the bad
all right?
parts of the night.
Yeah.
Why are you weaving?
I just remembering things.
You want to share any of them?
Sure. Which one do you want?
I don't know.
Which one's making you weave?
That would be the time that I was dating a girl, and she was an interior designer and was helping a client give a party for the Dallas Opera traveling in town. And she said the party ran late, didn't come home. I didn't think much about it, but I had that gut feeling that, something's wrong.
That's a good boy.
So as just fate has it, client calls me up the next day, said, I've got third row center stage at the opera. Do you want to go?
Oh, I know the story. Go ahead.
I've never heard this one.
So I called this girl up. I said, hey, do you want to go? She said, oh, my God, yes, I'd love to. So we go. A minute I pick her up, I know something's wrong. And so I ask her over dinner, I go, anything you need to tell me? No. So talk about
They never will.
Yeah.
And you know what? Why not just tell me? Don't go outside the relationship, but don't have the balls to tell me you're screwing somebody else.
This is you saying that?
Yeah.
You've done it to every chick you've ever known.
I did that for them.
How do you use it for them?
Nobody likes going through a breakup.
So you're screwing around on every chick you've ever been with, I believe.
Yeah.
Ever been with. And what did you just say? Finish saying? Just tell me?
Yeah.
Why did you go home and just tell them?
Because they never asked.
You've never had a chick ask you?
No.
I've had all of them.
Trey?
So anyways, throughout the opera, I keep going, you sure you don't want to tell me? Finally, in the third intermission, I go, you sure? Yeah, what's wrong? She goes, you really don't want to know.
Oh. Just hit her now and leave. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
So I go, what?
I'll go up on stage.
Uh-huh.
I'll take all the instruments away from everybody so I can hear what you're going to tell me. Let's go.
That's how much I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
And she's telling me just about the time the orchestra and whatnot are about to come on. She goes, I slept with the conductor the night before.
Oh.
Now, I'm third row center stage.
You can't leave.
This guy comes out, looks like George Clooney, and I'm sitting there going,
Why, of all times, would she pick that moment to tell you?
Because she's a whore.
What good would an hour would kill her?
Well, because she wanted to brag. Because the man's coming out with his little baton.
What's to brag about?
Yeah, you're just going to sit there.
This isn't a situation where you're trying to show off to me, so I'm going to stay with you longer because you get to bang conductors.
I know, but it's just... It's like, well, it's what it is. It's, you know what? You asked. I said there was nothing to tell. You pressed it, so there he is.
Did you cause any type of disturbance?
No. It really was one of the
Because I personally would have shoved a nice sousaphone in his ass.
I sat there through the end of it.
Hole. I'd wait.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
It was like an out-of-body experience because I'm sitting there going, I can jump over two of these rows.
Yeah. And he's holding a stick I can beat him with.
He had a weapon. It was fair fight.
Or I can drag her out by her hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that one needs the papers. That's the way to go.
You take that one?
No. I didn't do it. I just literally, it was over. I said, get out. And
did you stay?
Yeah, I stayed.
You stayed through the rest of the performance?
It was only it was like 20 minutes. Like I said, it was like a surreal, out-of-body experience.
It was a good show.
Now, why do you want to beat him, though? Beat her, I get. Not really in real life, but not actually.
I wanted them both.
What did he do? Did he know she's a girlfriend, a boyfriend?
Oh, no.
Those are questions you ask. You find out if somebody's in a relationship before you bang them.
You don't care.
Shut you.
He was married, though.
Shut all of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
He what?
I said he was married with a couple kids, so he had it coming.
You tell his wife?
No, she lived in Italy.
God, they understand cheating, whore.
You didn't try and get a hold of her?
No.
Why is it nobody but me in this room believes in retribution? I've had chicks leave me, and I got videotapes of us screwing. How about I wait, and this was back in the 80s, I wait until YouTube comes along.
That's how long I'm going to hate you.
Or possibly this ends up at your church. I bet your pastor would like to see you getting in the mug. I bet your dad would like to know that you like it doggy.
That's how pathetic I was. I actually kept the chick around for a while by threatening to send a tape in.
That's good.
That's not good. It's just pathetic.
Who'd you threaten to send the tape to?
The blonde chick in the 80s.
Not the chick. Who did you threaten to send the tape to?
Everybody. Her brother, her dad, her mom, her church, her sister, anybody I knew that I could send a tape to. I said, I've got 6 or 8, 10 copies. I'm in television. I dub them all day.
What did you have tapes of? Just give me the highlights.
Just her in the mug and the doggy style and with a toy, herself with a toy.
Nothing else?
No.
No pets?
No pets. No, nothing totally weird. That's enough.
Is this the same one that sat on the car shifter?
Okay, yeah.
Did you get video of that?
I didn't get video of that. That was very spontaneous. I didn't know it was coming to grab my camera. Had she warned me, I'd have had...
Where were you when she was sitting on your shifter?
We were out just driving down the road. She did the weirdest things in the car. She'd take her clothes off and just start diddling. Just for no reason. Just driving up 75, driving home one night.
I know everybody's thinking this, so I'm going to go ahead and ask. You pulled over before she started shift effing herself.
Oh, yeah, we were stopped. Absolutely, yeah. She said she wanted to do that, and I went, okay. We pulled over. He's very spontaneous.
If I get that muffler in my clan.
Next thing you know, she's backing up to the tow hitch.
Yeah, why couldn't you get a truck?
It was a little Honda Prelude, so it was very much shaped like a
thing.
Yeah.
I walk around the house all the time, and I don't see
this was just
inanimate objects as something that I can have sex with.
I never thought of it either until she brought it up, and I thought, I'm here.
Except the toilet paper tube, because I've shoved my weenie in one of those.
I think everybody has.
Nobody else said anything.
Damn, I got quiet in here. Yes.
You ever stuck it in soft just to see it get big?
No.
You could turn loose of the tube?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. Trey?
Sorry, it must be a generational thing.
What about you, Chuck?
Yeah, never toilet tube.
Not the toilet tube?
No.
Well, you're older. Maybe you were using something different. Corn cob?
Close.
What?
Close.
Stuck a corn cob in your pee hole?
Yeah, man. It's good.
God. Shucking on. Were you done with your story?
Yeah.
Did you stay with her after this?
Oh my God, you did.
I didn't stay with her, but we broke up for like a month and started talking, and then then I let her dick me over 2 more times.
How did she how'd she do it the second time?
Second time, she had gone to an art fair in Fort Worth and met some artists in California and was banging him.
Well, she's just a whore.
Well, she's obviously into artsy guys.
Yeah.
Music, and now you've got the artist. How'd you find out about that one?
Just finally through notes and telephone calls and messages and everything else, I just figured it out. And then she, amazingly, there was an art festival in Austin.
Hang on, is this the third time?
The third time, second guy. But she goes, I'm going to go help my friend.
No, you're not.
She's going to move into this apartment, so I'm going to go help her for a week. You're going to tell me it's going to take a week to move one girl into an apartment? I go, I don't think so. So I went online, I looked, Austin Art Fair. I said, you're going to bang the artist guy, aren't you? Well, I'm going to go see him. I feel really...
And that was it.
Actually, that was it. No, she terrorized me a little. I mean, it made me absolute crazy because she'd flirt around with me and like just enough.
Why would she want to keep you in her life if she was going to constantly screw up guys?
I think at a certain point...
And not be forthcoming about it. Because he let her get away with it.
Yeah, I think at a certain point she started really enjoying just tormenting me. And
so that was it.
That was it. But, it was a nice... From time of conductor to final breakup was January to end of April.
4 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Still stay in contact with her?
Hell no.
Why don't you get into painting?
Stand naked at your door tomorrow.
I'll pass.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
The only time
Why?
The only time that I stayed with a girl, but I think I've told this story before, is like she started buying me a bunch of stuff. Everything I hinted around about. Walked into a store, gold chain, front row tickets.
Well, hang on. She was buying you stuff. Was it you caught her?
Yeah, I caught her.
And to keep me around, I want these things.
That doesn't sound like something Chloe would do. Didn't
they walked into a Pep Boys. She said, "I'm on that go-kart."
She got you a go-kart.
Oh yeah. There was like, what it is, she would just surprise me with it later. Like, I'd just say, hey, I'm interested in that. But I got kind of caught on to that. And I'm like, So I walked in there and like, she ain't going to buy me no go-kart. And so I walked in and I was like, hey, I really did a go-kart. It'd be kind of cool to take it out, this place they live, da-da-da-da. And like 3 days later, I come over to her house, living room, there's a go-kart.
Yeah, you can go kart. You can pull a train with the San Antonio Spurs.
No.
Yeah. You keep buying me stuff. I already know the relationship's over. I don't care what you're doing.
I see. You're just staying in it for the stuff now. Yeah.
Wasn't this no, you got a one-seater, so she couldn't ride in it.
Exactly.
Bastard. All right, are you done?
Yes.
Okay. And I forget, did you ever say you did the surveillance?
Not really. I did the drive-by every once in a while. And
drive-by doesn't do any good. You got to sit there and wait, because if they come home from a date, you want to see it. You already think it's going on. You just need something tangible that you can hold on to. All right, the relationship's over.
Just show me.
You'll sit out there for 6 or 7 hours, and you'll wait. Finally, you'll convince yourself, I'm worth more than this. I've got some self-esteem. This is pathetic.
Yes.
I deserve to be in a relationship where somebody loves me. Whether she's out doing anything or not, she wouldn't tell me where she was going.
She's jacking you around.
I'm leaving. She got 2 hours to get home.
This deal's done. And
then after 2 hours, you got... Maybe she doesn't have I'll give her another 45 minutes.
Car broke down.
And you'll stay there, I did. Literally all night.
I can't believe we're the only two idiots that have done that in this room. Oh, well, Gavin has.
Chuck, you ever do that?
Never.
Never stalked anybody out?
No.
You didn't sit on your horse and watch your camera?
Never did.
Man, I did. I went through my phone one time and just figured out to get her. Should I say this? Is this illegal?
Say it.
Broke into her voicemail.
No, it's not illegal.
Okay, I went through her purse. I got her driver's license number. I tried every variety of that. I got her birthday. Cha-ching. She'd made her code her birthday.
What'd you find?
She'd gone out with this guy that she'd been seeing at work.
So all of this was justified?
This case, it really was, yes.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I've spent an hour and a half figuring out her dang code.
And then when you confronted her with it?
Never did.
Why?
Well, because then I would have had to admit I broke into her voicemail.
Who cares? She's screwing somebody else.
Well, that's the problem. Guy never said, hey, let's screw, or hey, you were great in bed last night. There was always, and they worked together, so there was reasons in my mind that he would be leaving messages like, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have a really good time, and had a great time last week.
That's screwing somebody.
That didn't say screw.
Was this email?
This was voicemail.
Okay.
And then they supposedly had this road trip together out to somebody out in East Texas.
You never addressed this.
No, I couldn't because then I would lose. She changed the voicemail code. I was waiting for something good. Like, you taste delicious.
Did you find anything in the future?
With that guy, no. But then we broke up shortly thereafter, and she started dating some guy that liked windsurfing.
Okay.
Bitch.
I don't know how you said on that.
Because I didn't want her to change the voicemail, so I was waiting for something juicy and good.
You already got enough to confront her with.
She was lying.
What is this? Why are we having a good time? Why are you having a good time with somebody else?
I work with him. I work with the guy, and we had a business meeting. And the good time was we just had a good time. He's a very nice guy. He's not crazy like you are. He understands me.
Really?
I'll go kill him now.
Well, let me ask you this. Is he into waterboarding like I am?
No, he likes to windsurf.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty close. Let's go to the tub. I couldn't set on anything. If I ever found anything, you immediately confront them with it. They didn't do any good because I'd stay with them, but it's still, you felt like, all right, I addressed it, I got an answer, and they know I'm on to them.
Yeah, and then she changes it, and then you lose the access.
And you break into their house.
Stop. Breaking and entering. I know you've done it.
This one died. She's not going to say anything.
No, that's true. That one did.
Is that the one you kidnapped her dog?
Yes.
She left the dog sitting in the house for 3 or 4 days on end.
See, that's not the story she told me.
Well, that's the story I'm telling. And if anybody knows any different, feel free to come forward.
This is the one you were banging too, JD?
I wasn't banging her. Quit it.
But you just go over there at night when I'm not around.
Yes, to talk about things like you stealing her dog, breaking. He's out of control. He's crazy. I love him, but he breaks in and takes my dog. Just so I'll call him. And I was there for you. You guys were a cute couple. I really thought you guys could have made it if she hadn't died.
She was a topless Dan.
You really loved her.
The one that got away.
I guess I should address that at the funeral home. Well, I guess it's over.
I mean it this time.
So you're helping a buddy out by keeping penises out of her.
I wasn't.
By blocking with yours.
I wasn't screwing her, and you know that, and you know that, and you know that.
No, I don't. What is it now?
You're right. That makes perfect logic. If you're the other guy, he's your buddy. It's like, I got to help my buddy out. So no one else gets in there. I've got to bite it. I have to do this. It's a sacrifice.
I got to screw his topless dancer girlfriend.
I wouldn't do it. Didn't do it. Never even touched her. Never kissed her. Never.
I still believe to this day on my dogs that you did.
You really believe that? Because
yes.
You're out of your mind.
There ain't nobody in this.
I passed lie detector tests on this silly question.
I don't care. And ain't nobody else in this room that believes you. Run the room.
Well, they're all good.
Trey?
No.
Chloe?
You were working on it, bro.
God.
Even Dan, who normally will side with you. Dan?
Told him not to do it.
You ass. Wasn't.
Gavin, who's trusting out of everybody. Gavin?
Yeah, that's...
Gavin? Oh, so if you, if I was to call a girlfriend, then that would mean something's going on. Like when you call Joy, and her number's still in your cell phone.
We were making plans for you.
So that means you're screwing around. You just said so.
No, total difference.
How is it different?
Because I'm not sitting down with her trying to console her. I'm making plans to benefit you. You were over there screwing your buddy.
I was doing the exact same thing you're doing. I was trying to do something for my buddy.
Gavin was meeting with Joy at lunch during the day at restaurants. Nothing was going on. You what?
I wouldn't just go over there at night. Sometimes I would go during the day. If she'd call me, she was upset about
during the day.
you.
During the day when?
Oh, I don't know.
Like during the week?
Probably.
Because we were doing the TV show then. Is that when you would vanish for 3 or 4 hours? I'm going to lunch, and then you don't come back till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
Please.
I'll be damned.
No, I'm not doing anything. I never did anything with her but try to get you two back together. That's all I ever did with her.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
How is it screwing my girlfriend is keeping us together?
I never screwed her. I didn't touch her. I just consoled her. Didn't even console her. That sounds bad. I told her, he's a nut. He's a little crazy because he loves you. You two need to get back together. You need to tell him these things bother you, like breaking and entering is bothering you. Tell him to quit.
You touch your hoots?
I never touched her hoots.
Touch your clam?
Never did. Nothing. I never touched her.
She yank you off with her feet?
No!
Because that's a question that most people wouldn't ask, and you know that, and so you'd feel like you could pass that on the lie detector. So I'm asking you now.
No.
She yank you with her feet?
No!
Because she used to do that.
Could she do that?
Yeah.
I missed out. No, I didn't do it. I wouldn't do it. You know that. Hook me up to every lie detector device you have.
I still won't believe you.
Why?
Because I don't. It's too fantastic of a story. Nobody would believe it.
Didn't happen.
We got the shocking lie detector, though.
Spin a wheel.
For what?
Because.
No!
I think that's a dandy purpose for the wheel. You spin that because you screwed my girlfriend.
I didn't screw your girlfriend. And I'm not spinning the wheel for something I did not do. Ever. It didn't even occur to me.
She's a 6 foot tall topless dancer.
It didn't occur to me.
You were drinking back then.
I know. I had a girlfriend and a couple neighbors. I was busy.
Ever.
It didn't occur. I mean, it really didn't occur to me because she's your girlfriend. You were my buddy. I wouldn't do that. It's an unwritten code. I have it anyway. I believe it.
So
I didn't do it.
Let me ask you this. You find out I've been stopping by Joy's house at night because you guys are having a rough time.
Spin the wheel.
Do you think nothing happened?
Yeah, I think nothing happened.
You think if I went to console Joy that absolutely no sexual play?
I would say I would trust you.
You thought wrong, dude, because I'd screw her.
I would trust you. I have to trust her.
You're a fool.
I trust her.
And here's another reason why I believe that you did it, that you didn't tell me till 10 or 15 years afterwards. And you waited till she was dead.
I wouldn't.
So now nobody can come back and say anything different.
I didn't tell you at the
You're
time.
a gutless yellow turd.
I didn't tell you at the time because I thought you'd think this. You'd think something was happening. And the only thing that's happening, I'm trying to get you back together. That's it. All. Period. End of statement. That's all I ever did. I don't know how else to convince you. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to.
You can't.
Well, then shoot me. Put that down.
Fair enough.
Put it down. Down.
Stand up like a man.
I won't.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
You're not listening to Jack FM, are you? Now back to the Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3.
Hey, Gail. Hi, Gail.
Hi there.
What do you got?
I've got WGN Superstation. On the tollway, there's still a wreck southbound at Wycliffe. It's in the left lane, and traffic's backed up to Mockingbird. On 75 Central northbound at McComas, there's a wreck in the left lane. In Grapevine, they just cleared the wreck from westbound 114 at 121 northbound. Traffic's heavy from Beltline. In Euless, a bad wreck, motorcycle crash, helicopters on the scene. Northbound 121 Service Road at Glade Road. The exit to Glade is blocked as well. And then in Fort Worth on the North Freeway, southbound 35 at Meacham, the left lane's blocked and traffic is backed up to 287 North. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. 50 for the low tonight, going to be in the 80s tomorrow, pretty much the rest of the week. 81 tomorrow, 77 now at Live 105.3.
All right, Dan. You want to start news again?
Sure.
Okay. Did you do illegal? 5:54. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. And of course, if you've been following the Elliot Spitzer story, which of course we have, probably think you know everything about the former governor's sexual deviancy, but according to a 33-year-old former madam named Andrea Swartz, you don't. In 2006, Andrea was busted for running a high-priced prostitution ring in Manhattan. Her call girls charged $1,000 an hour, and the business brought in over $1 million a year. Before she was raided, Andrea says one of her best customers was, in fact, Elliot Spitzer. But even though she made good money off him, he made her uncomfortable, she said. That's because, even by her standards, he was a freak. She claims that even when Spitzer wasn't paying to have sex, he'd drop by just to watch other couples have sex, which she thought was weird.
What does that cost?
She didn't mention. She didn't say whether or not she charged him for that.
All right.
But a spokeswoman for Spitzer, of course, denied Andrea's allegations and calls them completely outrageous fabrications.
I just wondered if the other couple would know. If there's a little trap door, you would look through the window and watch him.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. They don't get into specifics on how he would go about watching. I would guess it'd be like two-way mirror kind of thing.
Well, they're taking things that that some people are into that you really wouldn't think twice about. But because he was governor, now they're digging up everything.
Sure.
He liked to bang with his socks on. Okay. Big deal. I wear goggles.
Yeah, you wear them just because you're too lazy to take them off after mowing.
It was a quickie in the kitchen.
Okay. It's just, I'd love to have walked in on it. What is going to happen at the end of this that he needs goggles? Wow.
Yeah. Shouldn't she have those on?
It's very odd, but it's worth waiting for.
Then her brother, who listens, told her that I was talking about the goggle thing in the kitchen.
Oh, great.
She asked me about it when I get home.
And? The rule is, did you just throw that at her?
No. She said, Jason said you were talking about this on the air. Yeah. Everything we do's got to, I said, I'm talking about me. I don't discuss any part of your life, just the parts that involve me.
You just happen to be at the end of me that day.
I can't fathom that as her brother.
Yeah. Be hard to hear.
There's just no.
It's an interesting story.
I know it is, but it's your sister.
At that point, I don't know if I could listen at all, but definitely when you would bring up her name, I would have to just punch out. Like, I can't.
See what Jack FM's doing for a while.
He listened for years.
Yeah, I know. Good.
What? He's going to really set you two up.
Yeah, it's when I was looking at opening a bar, and he was going to do some of the glass etching, and he brought her to help with the estimate. And I was dating Mona at the time. I met Amy.
The rest is history, but I just think it's hard for a brother. You know what's happening. You just don't want to hear it. Especially don't want to hear specifics. I was wearing goggles. She was bent over and looking in the fridge.
She was looking for lube.
After putting that Land of the Lakes butter. Nasty.
I didn't think you ever liked to do it anywhere but the bedroom.
I don't know why. I just came in from doing yard work. Had the painter's mask on, the goggles to keep the grass from getting up my nose. She was in the kitchen in her underwear. Just seemed natural.
You've got, I'm sure, grass and sweat all over you, and
I asked her. Not like I just came running in, shoved my crank in the Land of Lakes, and started poking her. Hey, why is there a penis implant in the imprint in the Land of Lakes? I don't know. We used it on Sunday when the kids came over, and I'm surprised it's still there.
Mommy, this looks just like... Shut up.
That's what it is. You stir that up some. All right, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. A government official named John Ward from Kent, England, has stirred up controversy over a blog posting in which he laid out his theory on why poor people who receive welfare should be sterilized after having one child, so they'll be less of a burden on society.
I believe that was my idea.
Yes, it was. Was your idea. And it's still wrong.
No.
And then JD furthered your idea.
I tried to be funny, let it go.
Oh, that's
Years
right.
ago. Oh, please, how you turn this on me? Let
So
it
not
go.
only do you think people who enjoy NASCAR events should be sterilized, you think they're all poor.
I didn't say. Of course they're not. Doctors and lawyers and all kinds of very wealthy people go to this thing. Those.
Why you want to sterilize them?
I don't want to sterilize anybody at NASCAR. It was a joke, a bad one. I've admitted it. Hang me on the cross. I've admitted it.
I'd let it go.
Yeah.
If Eddie Gossage is hanging on to this one.
I've begged him. I've called him. I've written to him. I've said I'm sorry. It was stupid. I come out to the events. I love TMS. I have been to the suites out there. They are beautiful, by the way. Those people that actually have suites. I've been to the upper level where you have a full...
Are you trying to get involved in some Gentlemen Start Your Engines contest?
Yeah? How'd you find out about that? Eddie Gossage. How would he know? Well... Yeah,
he runs TMS.
Well, I know, but he's a little busy to be doing everything. Yeah, they have a thing where you can audition to do the Gentlemen Start Your Engines, and the race comes, and you just go to the website, TexasMotorSpeedway.com, and you audition. And so, yeah, that would be fun. Wouldn't it be a once in a lifetime opportunity to say that?
You ain't gonna win.
Why?
You're just not.
You gonna set me up to lose?
No.
Well, why wouldn't I win?
Because I've heard your audition tapes for other things. What was it, Sirius?
Yeah, Sirius.
That was awesome.
Margaritaville.
Sirius Radio.
Hey.
Yes, it's you getting into the spirit of it. Anybody can call up and go, hey, this is Mike from Dallas. I sure dig Jimmy Buffett. Here's a cool song. It's boring.
And when you listen to Sirius to hear the winners, what did they sound like?
They sounded like dolts, boring dolts. Couldn't believe they won. That was ridiculous. And they flew them out there for a whole weekend, and they let them come back.
Obviously, you oversold it. Hey.
You got to get into the spirit of Margaritaville.
What'd you call peckerheads?
No, parrot heads.
Oh. Hey, peckerheads.
Parrot heads. You got to get into it and enjoy it. If you don't listen to it, you don't get it.
Is this it?
Yeah. Thanks, Chloe.
Hey. How many times did you cut it before you decided, this is the version that I'm going to send?
Probably 4 or 5. Because one time I cut it in the bathroom and you hear that hollow sound. And one time I cut it in the kitchen. Ended up cutting it in the bedroom.
Hey, Parrot Heads. It's J.D. Ryan from the Radio Margaritaville Studios in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Here's one from Jimmy's 4-disc box set.
Here's one.
That's right. You got to sell it. Anybody can be boring.
You can sell it. You can sound exciting. You don't have to sound like Don Imus. Here's one they used to play around the campfire.
No.
Before the engines got there.
No, Don, I like that better.
Why?
Boring.
Imus on Margarita.
Hey, peckerheads.
Parrot heads.
I like to enjoy, how the hell with it? I like the tom-toms. That's what I grew up with.
No. Let it go.
And you cut 3 previous versions before you picked this one?
3 or 4. I can't remember how many. I just remember they sounded bad. I was walking around the house trying to get the best acoustic.
Hey, Parrot Heads. It's J.D. Ryan from the Radio Margaritaville Studios in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Here's one from Jimmy's 4-disc box set back in 1992. You'll remember it. Boats, beaches, bars, and ballads. I put this one actually in my CD player in the car this last summer. I went out into the house, took my girlfriend's hand.
I take my girlfriend out back, bring along her papoose.
Oh, no.
And enjoy a nice sunset. Nice red one.
Walked her outside to shore with the giant's beautiful Texas moon rising in the east, and we danced right there in the driveway to Everlasting Moon. Jimmy Buffett on Radio Margaritaville, Sirius 31.
I had her dance around for about 10 minutes. Then we had to stop because it started raining. All right.
No.
Go ahead, Dan. Bye, so don't count on winning that thing at TMS.
Why? Now, when you said to start your engines things, they want excitement. Who was the?
They don't want this.
Yes, they do. Who was
the only thing that sounded like you left out of there is Takesha, main stage.
No.
No. And left out the shot specials.
Or my Hellraisers.
Yeah.
Who was the basketball guy that did it just a couple last time the race was
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, he was all over it. Gentlemen, and he was drug it out. And it was
not even that. Well, you
fan.
have to drag it out because your voice. Excuse me. Your voice is going to reverberate.
Right.
So you have to speak slowly so everybody can hear it. You do it too fast, the echo just covers everything up.
I'll take my lessons and I'll learn and I'll do it. Are you going to screw this for me?
I'm not going to. I don't have anything to do with it. Eddie Gossage is going to dick you around.
Okay, if I don't get to do it, I don't get to do it. It'll be awfully fun, though. Be a cool moment.
Plus, he doesn't know what you're going to say when you get on the mic.
I'm not going to say anything other than...
Hey, Peckerhead.
There.
The plane flying over right now. Just ignore that spray. For your own best interest. It's got nothing to do with sterilization. Just enjoy the race. And your last kid.
But yeah, if you're living on the government, back to Dan's story, you're living on the government, I'm paying you.
You can't sterilize people. You just can't. Not in this day and age. Well, there are some countries that do it. I believe they're called communists.
Okay.
That's not the way our country was built. You let people have children.
I don't think our country was originally built on people just sucking us dry.
No, that's...
Eating up social services.
That's come along in the last, 50 years. You're right, more so. But... there's no one ever going to agree with you on that you can go buy sterilized people.
Not John McCain. Dick Cheney would.
He doesn't call it sterilization. He calls it just, I'm going to kill you. Shoot you in the face. You shot me in the face. So.
Apologize for getting in my way.
I got to hear the clip again. Is it on this disc?
Yes, it is. Hold on, let me find it. 29. That may be my favorite political quote of all time.
Yeah. You wish that everybody else was this forthcoming.
Yeah.
Forget about the rhetoric, all the political speak, dancing around issues. Just tell me really what you think.
He could have easily spun this off into all kinds of BS.
What kind is it?
29.
Two-thirds of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
So? You don't...
I'll bet you money she didn't see that one coming.
No, because anybody else would have said so. Well, nobody would have said so.
No.
But
let me explain that.
Yeah. Here's the reason I said so. He just said so. Well, now I got to follow up.
You got a better question.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
So? You don't care what the American people think?
No, I think you cannot be blown off course by the fluctuations in the public opinion polls.
So you could have started off with that. Well, you really can't be blown off. You said so.
And the way he goes on and explains it, it makes sense. It's just funnier to me to say so. Stop. You don't care about the American public? No. Do you have any other questions about the economy or anything else you want to ask?
Well, we just kind of wondered what the dollar's going to do in the future.
Probably go down.
Well, that's not good news for you and your Bush administration, is it?
I'm rich.
How about the people you were elected to support in America?
Get a better job.
The country. You're here to help us and defend us.
You don't like social services?
No.
Go to work.
Oh, we're going to be out of the war soon?
What do I care?
You're the vice president.
For another few months.
You're hard to get along with, feller.
And you like to hunt?
No.
I'd hate to see what Cheney would do to a fishing buddy.
I don't get it.
He'd probably just gut him.
Now. I'm waiting.
Sorry.
All right, then.
Did you want the rest of the
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Ward says that a lot of poor people continue having kids just so they can get more money from the government. And even if they aren't having more kids on purpose, they know they have that safety net, so they're not exactly careful about protection.
All right, say you can't sterilize them. Then you make it an option. You have any more kids, we're not going to give you any cash unless you get neutered or spayed.
So they get to have 2 kids. First one is a warning. Second one is you don't get any more cash on the second.
You got 1 kid, and the government's already paying for it. If you're going to have another one, you're not going to get any extra cash out of us unless we get the scoopy thing out.
Nobody's ever going to agree to that in this day and age.
If you cut off their services, one of 2 things are going to happen. They're going to stop having kids, or they're going to get a job.
I agree with cutting off services. Period. I don't think you should be on. When did we ever come up with this rule that you're on the rolls forever?
I think Trey blames LBJ.
Yeah, LBJ, Great Society.
Well, he's dead. How about he and his wiener are gone?
Well, it perpetuates itself.
But you're only half right. What?
It just perpetuates itself. People get on the, Section 8 housing, food stamps, whatever, then really what's their incentive to get, they can learn to adapt and make do with what the government's happened, and then it just perpetuates.
Right,
itself.
Your perspective has totally changed. Now, this has just become reality. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to go to work. I got my nice Lone Star card. They've made it to where I can go in and out. Nobody knows I'm on food stamps. I can get whatever I want.
There has to be, we have people in the office that can change this. Why won't they?
Because it's not popular.
Who's in the office? I don't know.
I mean, how do you change it? You have a new class of people that...
Yeah, what are you going to do all of a sudden? What Trey's eventually going to get to is, what are you going to do with all these people you cut off their services? Where are they going to go? You're going to have to do something with them.
Again, okay. And I stand corrected because you look at Katrina, and we tried to phase them out. They wouldn't leave.
No, they complained about it after a year. The first year.
Yeah.
We still need more cash. You can't stop now. And the government acquiesced, and they gave them more time. And you still got some living in government housing.
A lot.
Trailers, still, to this day.
And again, I haven't had time to rebuild my life.
I guess, you just have to set a date. You go, this is it, but we did that, and each time we canceled it, moved it back. All right, you quit bitching. If you'll go away, we'll give you some cash.
The only thing I think you could ever do is figure out what the government's going to pay for a child born in a welfare family. Go to that family and go, here's the deal. I'll give you $75,000, $100,000 right now. You go have a hysterectomy, never have kids again. And
I'm not going to give them cash for that.
Hey, long term, you're going to save a hell of a lot more money.
I like the original deal. You have more kids, and you don't get sterilized. We ain't giving you nothing. But you have another kid.
What?
What'd I originally say? You get cash?
Another kid? No. You don't get nothing.
Now you don't get nothing. You're out.
And
screw those Lone Star cards. We're going back to a cinder block that you got to carry into the store with "you suck" on the side of it.
No, we're not going to ever have the "you suck"
You got to take a cinder block to everywhere you go that you're going to get free food, so everybody around you knows that you're sucking off the government because you suck.
They used to have that. The boxes didn't say "you suck."
No, they were just white, plain boxes, nothing on it, but cereal, bread, whatever.
Yeah, just cornflakes, whatever it was. When did those go away? In the 80s?
Whenever they decided it was demeaning to make people go in and buy special food, and then you have to break out the food stamps. We want them to blend into society so they feel better about themselves. That doesn't work. That only makes the problem worse. There's got to be some kind of penalty. Carry that cinder block around, and you only buy products that suck.
No, you can't make people feel that way about themselves.
Not only do you have to carry around the "you suck" card attached with the cinder block, but all the food now comes attached with its own cinder block.
No, the food just says, "you suck."
I think we need to build up people's self-esteem. Maybe that way they'll get a good
That's not going to change anything. We've already built up their self-esteem, and nothing's changed. You need a picture of Uncle Sam on all those boxes pointing at them. You suck. You suck. You don't have a job. You suck. You flip around to see the nutritional information, and it just says, "you suck." You suck 100% of the time, every freaking day. You don't do anything. You sit around, and you want more from us. You suck. None of your business what's in this box. You got it for free. Take it home and suck. I'm done.
Officials with North Park Mall in Dallas met with 4 teens that were detained and handcuffed wrongly in their mall on Friday. For Alex Castillo, Monday night's meeting with mall officials left a lot to be desired. Castillo's daughter was one of 4 Hispanic teens who were accused of stealing sunglasses from a store. North Park security detained them and handcuffed them until everything was cleared up. A news release from the mall stated security detained who the store employee described to them, but security surveillance proved the teens did not take anything. Castillo says they wanted a public apology from North Park and from the store. North Park released a written statement that simply said, "It is now apparent the information the employee provided was not accurate, and they're refusing all other comment beyond that."
Initially, when I heard this story, I thought, okay, they're just throwing out that they were Hispanic, and we're going to play the race issue on this, and we're going to make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Now, after you go back and you look through surveillance tapes, I think it was racial profiling. You got 3 or 4 Hispanic kids walking through a sunglass place. You just assume that they're up to something because that's the way this played out.
Yeah, but do you think the mall then should apologize? What's the damage, really? Other than you
detain these kids.
Okay, I detain them. I have the right in my mall to detain you if I think you're doing something. You sat down. We didn't beat you. We didn't take you to jail.
Okay, what is it that you saw that wasn't on the cameras? Because they went back and looked at the surveillance cameras. Nothing happened. Nobody took anything.
No,
and when the police got out there, they found that the kids didn't have anything.
Okay, well, sorry.
What was it you did?
Well, again, you don't know what they were doing. They're walking close together. You're right. You profile. Everybody profiles everybody every single day. You walk down the street. You tell
they'll end up getting sued over this. So there's your reason not to do any racial profiling or just assume somebody took something because they look fishy.
I'm not going to assume it. And
You'll still get
from the mall. I'm going to say I had nothing to do with them being Hispanic. Had to do with them being teenagers in a group. In our experience, that's sometimes who does shoplifting.
You'll still get sued.
And even from the mall standpoint, it wasn't the mall that accused them. The mall security came to try to figure out what was going on, detain them, because that was based on the information given by the store employee.
We were wrong.
Well, but they'll end up suing them both. They'll sue the store and the mall just to see who's got the most cash. And somebody will cough up something.
You're right. Unfortunately, you're right, because in this day and age, it's easier to make it go away.
We need a break? I meant to ask Chuck this a couple of days ago, and I forgot. Chuck, at the white trash party, when you were playing the opening theme, was somebody sitting on your hands?
No.
Did your bag leak and all of a sudden something got all over the keyboard and you decided to moosh it off?
Memory lapse.
Well, here.
Oh, great.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Right now, it's just Chuck and the drums.
Alrighty.
The horns that you
Very
hear
beginning.
are coming off his synthesizer.
Gotcha.
What was that?
Hey, Sharp.
What was it supposed to be?
Hey.
It's supposed to be A? Yeah. What was that one? What was happening? Were you playing with your hands?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Somebody move your keys around.
Sounds like we're going into the ghost of Mr. Chicken.
That's not a mistake.
It's not?
No.
Well, fix that one anyway.
All right.
I don't know if it clears up here or not. This is all that guy's camcorder. That's why the audio keeps changing. Was only one horn playing? Sounds like only one horn's playing and they're sitting in a Mazda. What?
It's a bad mix.
It's a bad band.
No, it's not.
You always get a bad mix off of a bad band.
No.
What happened with the keyboards? Did your bag leak on you?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Perhaps more practices.
That's an idea.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Eddie Gossage doesn't want me out there. He's leaving messages because he's a whore.
They do want you out there.
They ask you every year. Every year. They've offered to fly you out. They've offered to limo you out.
Especially if you got to do the pace car thing.
Pace car what?
He offered in that possibly right around
He's
in
not
one of the
going to
pace
do
cars.
any of that. A, it's to get free airtime.
I bet he would.
And it's to slam on JD.
I think, without a doubt, he would love to have you out there.
Gavin, do you buy this from Eddie or not?
Oh, I absolutely buy it. He wants you out there.
Why? He's going to have 300,000-400,000 people. What difference does it make if I go or not?
I just think he wants you to experience it because there is something to be said where if you go out there, it makes you a fan.
Looks at you like a challenge.
So it's something that watching it or whatever, you really have to go out there and experience it.
Yeah.
Yes. So why do you carry NASCAR on the radio?
I think it's the best play-by-play on radio. I really do.
I have to agree with him. It really is exciting to listen to it on radio, and a lot of people go out there to the track and listen to the radio.
Well, but you can watch it.
You can watch it, but you don't.
I get it. You have the visual aspect to go along with what you're listening to on the radio, so then that fills in the rest of it.
And you know, if you're like me, you don't know every single driver. You didn't see what happened on the far turn. You didn't see one guy pass the other one or drafting or whatever.
I used to hate NASCAR. Thought it was, just a dumb redneck sport. And then I went to my first race. Hooked ever since.
All right. I'll go once. I know I say this every time, but if I can get in and I can get out and I don't have to dick with traffic one, I'll go.
Traffic is not an issue anymore.
How could it not be any type of issue if you've got all those people coming in at once?
Because Fort Worth Police and Tarrant County Sheriff, they have it down pack. Everything flows to the speedway in the morning and then away from it in the evening. I promise you could leave your house at I'll say 11:30 and you'll be there 12:15.
All right.
It really is exciting once you're there.
Well, you're not going.
I'm going. I can go to the NASCAR race if I choose to go to the NASCAR race.
There's a clip of when Eddie Gossage was on.
Eddie, it's JD one more time. Is there anything I can do to make this up to you? Because it was a long time ago, and it was a man.
You can leave me alone, man. Okay.
Ass. Forgive me. Eddie, it's JD one more time. Is there anything I can do to make this up to you? Because it was a long time ago, and it was a man.
You can leave me alone, man. Okay.
Very nice timing there, Eddie.
Here's the one that he left. I think this was yesterday.
Okay.
And again, it's not to get me out there. This is count. I forget how long this is. I think it's a minute.
Okay.
Count how many plugs he works into this. It's no longer inviting me out. It's how many different sponsors can I get into?
You're going to play this on the radio.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's leaving this. I started.
Hey, Russ, this is Eddie Gossage out at Texas Motor Speedway.
Hang on, let me get a pen. Do we count the TMS as a plug?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Russ, this is Eddie Gossage out at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm just following up with you about the upcoming Samsung 500 weekend, just about a week away. If you can't make it out on Sunday to watch the NASCAR Sprint Cup race, I can set you up VIP style for the O'Reilly 300, which is on Saturday, and that's part of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. I think you probably enjoy one of our Chevy Pace car rides, and you can hang out in the pits throughout the race, or we'll completely take care of you up there in one of the suites overlooking the start-finish line with plenty of food and beverage of your choice. In fact, I know you shop at Lowe's, so I'll introduce you to Jimmy Johnson, who's the current NASCAR champion. So anything you want, my friend, just let me know. Just check out our full schedule on TexasMotorspeedway.com and let me know, pick out what you want to do, and I'll make sure we UPS the credentials over to you. I look forward to hearing from you. See you, man.
I miss that one.
That's a good one.
All right, that was it. I got 9.
No, I got 11.
I only got 9.
I got 9.
What did you count?
Yeah, NASCAR Sprint Cup.
I counted that.
Yeah.
NASCAR Nationwide Series.
Got that?
Did you count when he mentioned the drivers?
No, but they're sponsors. Okay,
I am. Is this worth listening to you?
Yes. Well, we have to check
Hey, Russ, this is Eddie Gossage out of Texas Motor Speedway. I'm just following up with you about the upcoming Samsung 500 weekend, just about a week away. If you can't make it out on Sunday to watch the NASCAR Sprint Cup race, I can set you up VIP style for the O'Reilly 300, which is on Saturday, and that's part of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. I think...
All right, so far I'm up to 5.
I got 5.
I'm 5.
All right.
You probably enjoy one of our Chevy Pace car rides, and you can hang out in the pits throughout the race, or we'll completely take care of you up there in one of the suites overlooking the start-finish line with plenty of food and beverage of your choice. In fact, I know you shop at Lowe's, so I'll introduce you to Jimmy Johnson, who's the current NASCAR champion. So anything you want, my friend, just let me know. Just check out our full schedule on TexasMotorspeedway.com and let me know, pick out what you want to do, and I'll make sure we UPS the credentials over to you. Look forward to hearing from you.
I got 9 again.
You know what? I got 9 that time, so I don't...
And how long was that message?
51.
Man,
he's good.
I'll get you a clip of Michael Waltrip. He is the king of sponsor whores.
As far as what?
As far as drivers. Oh, I mean, yeah. He slips in sponsors. It's like he could be running to the bathroom. He's going to get a couple sponsors in on his way.
We had a pretty good day in the Cheerios Marshmallow Doritos Dippin' Dots Forward.
But right now, it's time to go to the little Charmin room.
Brought to you by American Standard Toilets.
Yeah, because I got a Hershey hanging. All right. What else you got in news, Dan?
All right. The filing period for candidates for the May 10th City Council election, this is in Murphy, Texas, by the way, for mayor.
I read about this. Now, this is the city manager that asked to be released from his contract because of the whole Murphy sting. Well, they call it a fiasco. To me, it was a success.
Yes.
Success.
Okay, so Craig Sherwood, that is the former city manager of Murphy, has filed to run for mayor. Sherwood has lived in Murphy for almost 6 years. He's the former city manager. He currently works as a manager and has appointed Linda Sherwood as his treasurer. Sherwood asked to be released from his city manager contract in June of 2007 after some controversy regarding the Murphy PD's cooperation with NBC's child predator sting.
And there was no controversy. All the controversy that came from that was all concocted. You got a sting that took these guys. I know we beat this to death. You got a sting that took all these guys off the street. None of them were convicted because was it Collin County DA?
Yes.
Collin County DA decided there wasn't enough evidence. Let all of them go. Claimed jurisdiction was part of the problem, even though you had a couple of the guys from Murphy that ended up in the sting. All right, your jurisdiction excuse is now gone.
At least on 2 or 3 of them, yeah. And
the only upside is all these guys were on television. They lost their jobs, family, whatever. So at least there was some penalty to go along with it, even though the Collin County DA didn't have the balls to take this to the grand jury.
Is Chief Myrick still out there? I got the right name, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Since it wasn't in the news, I'm going to assume he was, or still is. And if this city manager wins as mayor, that's going to be best for Chief Myrick. Because the city manager and Chief Myrick worked with NBC.
I got you.
But last I had heard, if I remember this correctly, I had heard that a couple of the guys that were picked up in the sting in Murphy, one was picked up in Houston. He's being prosecuted in Houston.
Of course.
Where he's from.
But it was another sting operation in Houston?
If I remember correctly, what I was told was that it was stemmed from the same sting in Murphy.
Why would they be able to prosecute him in Harris County, and not Collin?
I remember when we first, I can't remember who it was that said this, but they said since Collin County won't do it, they were going to try to refer them to the counties where some of the pedophiles had originated their chats from.
And then if they get this guy convicted in Harris County, then is Collin County going to go back and possibly reopen some of these cases? Well, obviously, you can get a conviction off of this, and my excuses have now gone to dick.
Well, remember that guy that NBC had on it was in Austin. He was in charge of the state sting unit for child predators, and he was a former Travis County DA, and he said, there is no jurisdictional issue. It's a state law. If
But Channel 8 decided to jump on it. Byron Harris... Why are there cameras on the cops? What do you care?
Well, that I never understood that argument.
Well, at that point, it's no longer law enforcement. It's all for entertainment. You don't watch Cops?
I was going to say, that makes no sense whatsoever. I can't wait for the day that Chief Myrick is no longer employed by the city. So there's got to be a piece to this we're missing. Got to be. And he just
when he decides to leave, we're gonna get the rest of this story, because obviously,
if there isn't one left,
we stayed confused over the past year.
The DA just got a hard on for this thing and said, I'm going to make it go away. So the words child molesters and Collin County are not in the same sentence ever again.
No, but you'll have child molesters in Collin County.
They know.
Because you've made it part of your PR campaign. We're never going to have this sting operation in Murphy again. That was the mayor.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, why don't you just leave the kid sitting out on the street with a nice sign next to him?
A lollipop.
I know. All that's going to do is just make Murphy filled with nonstop predators.
We see it. We say it. Something is wrong in the city council.
Well, you know why the city council and Murphy originally backed away from this? It's bad PR. You've got a police department that's proactive. Had you had a couple of children molested,
and they would have
take the sting out of this, molested, then they're going to be all over the Murphy cops. Why is it you weren't looking into this?
And they caught 2 of them, at least 2 in Murphy.
In Murphy. The rest of them drove within 30, 45 minutes. All of them admitted why they were there.
On television in front of police officers. Don't email me because it was on television that they admitted it. No, they were sitting at a table with a police officer when they admitted it.
And they had done another sting in the summer.
Why are you handing me that, Chloe?
Come on, please play it.
Go ahead, Trey.
That Perverted Justice had helped Murphy PD out in. I think they nabbed 6 guys. Collin County didn't have a problem with them at that point. It's only when the TV cameras came along that all of a sudden it became an issue.
Well, you add the TV cameras to it, and it's no longer an operation that flew under the radar. Mm-hmm. Now it's on national television. People are going to think Murphy's full of predators. Probably is now, but at the time, you only had 2 that they caught. Everybody else drove in from other cities, and not that far away.
And then you get on television and go, we're never going to do this again. Thank you.
And I still say that's Roach's big motivation is.
It was Roach.
The Collin County District Attorney.
Okay.
that he wants to make sure that no other PD in Collin County ever does this again.
What cut?
24.
He uses the screen name Twink Toilet, which apparently hints at what he had in mind for the boy.
You said that you love to be used by young boys. Is that true? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you read down further in the line, it's fantasy.
But explain to me what that means to be you.
I didn't see that one coming.
It is all fantasy because it is not real.
Yes.
Sometimes I just like to sit and tinkle and marinate. Much like you would do with Calgon.
No.
I say to myself, piss, take me away. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah. Very nice.
How long before we need a break?
4 minutes.
Are we done with this bit?
You want to hear the rest of the Twink Toilet?
We've played this probably 50 times over the past year and a half.
It's a classic.
By the way, if you ever want to do the Spanish Lover versus Reverend Manning, I've got some clips up there for you.
Where?
It should be under Manning and the Lover.
You got here like 30 clips?
Mm-hmm.
Just all random?
Yeah. Just stuff I cut out of his sermon.
Is this something I want to listen to first?
I mean, they're self-explanatory.
Because of the bit bombs.
Yeah, if this blows, you get to eat it. There's your punchline already.
Very nice.
There are 850 preachers that lie every day on me. I want you to get them.
I'll get on you. I'll lie on you. And I'll wait until I work down to your little stinky dragon.
Oh, God.
I'm looking around in your pantaloons.
Yes.
Where's the dragon?
No.
What are you doing? I talk back.
No.
As long as you're on the bottom.
Do I have to stay on the bottom? Sometimes I like to be on top, so I can admire all that I survey.
Very subtle and very crafty and very evil and insidious beast, the serpent.
The serpent will not live in your ass.
Very insidious, indeed.
That's a serpent balls being in your cheeks. Let's see if I got another one. Should I stop?
No. You got one more.
The first place I saw it on two great big old shits.
Please do not bring women into this. For it's only you, me, and the dragon.
Don't speak, you don't eat.
Then I'll speak. And then I'll eat. Perhaps some nice salad. But everyone likes it tossed. I should have stopped 2 or 3 clips ago.
I got a word in my mouth.
It's penis. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
All right, Daniel, what else you got?
Excessive gaming, viewing online pornography, emailing, and text messaging have been identified as causes of a compulsive-impulsive disorder by one Dr. Gerald Block, author of an editorial for the respected American Journal of Psychiatry. Block argues that the disorder is now so common that it merits inclusion in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
So addiction to internet porn is now an illness.
Yes, he says internet addiction, including porn, has 4 main components. Excessive use, often associated with a loss of sense of time or a neglect of basic drives. Withdrawal, including feelings of anger, tension, and or depression when the computer is inaccessible. Need for better computers, more software, more hours of use, and negative repercussions, including arguments, lying, poor achievement, social isolation, and fatigue.
I can never be fired.
Why?
Well, if it's an illness, and where was this study done?
He did it for the American Journal of Psychiatry.
All right. If they actually embrace that, then I'll be covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
They're not.
And regardless of what I do, I can't get fired. And I'm going to get me a handicapped parking pass.
I don't think so.
The guy in a wheelchair with a heart on.
I like one of those. No, they're not going to let you get away with that.
If it's classified, is
it a disease or is it an illness? I think there's a difference.
He's saying that his editorial says it merits inclusion in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
If you'll classify alcoholism as a disease, then you can do other types of addictions, and that's what this is.
I took the liberty of pulling up a synopsis of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Thank you.
Of 1990. Disability is defined as, and I quote, a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits a major life activity.
Go ahead, I'm just giving you music.
Okay, cool. The determination of whether any particular condition is considered a disability is made on a case-by-case basis. Certain specific conditions are excluded as disabilities, such as like current substance abusers. Not you.
Thank you.
You're an alcoholic.
I got 2 of them. Is there anything else I'm covered under?
I think you're good there.
Yeah.
I think once you just determine you have a disease, then you need to go be treated in rehab. You get 30 days, then they're going to boot you.
I don't think with alcoholics, you immediately have to go into rehab, do you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You can just say I have a disease now and get the damn little parking pass.
You're the one that's always argued the point that alcoholism is a disease, and they address that in AA.
They do. You know, there's people.
It's an addiction. You get hooked on something. It's something you enjoy. It's something you want to do over and over. And because of its effects, then it takes over your life.
There are people that are just simply predisposed, would drink just like you do, but they absolutely cannot stop. And that's an alcoholic. As versus people that can have a couple glasses of wine and quit and go, I'm done. I get a little buzz. Perfect.
Yeah, but we're talking about internet addiction, which if you were to compare it to alcoholism, what you're saying would be like Russ could stop at 4 or 5
he
drinks.
Stops. He comes to work.
Hang on. Russ could stop at 4 or 5 drinks, whereas an alcoholic will have 20 or 30. Most normal people that look at porn could do 4 or 5 browsers open. Russ has got 30 and 40 open.
Yeah,
and forgets where he left off.
Yeah. But I cannot choose.
You got the sticker coming.
I got the what?
You got the sticker coming.
Am I covered in any other way?
I looked up under Title I for employment under the Disabilities Act. The ADA states that a covered entity, i.e. like a CBS radio, shall not discriminate against an individual with a disability. This applies to job application procedures, hiring, advancement, and discharge of employees, i.e. being fired, workers' comp, job training, and other terms, conditions, and privileges of employment. Covered entity, again, CBS Radio, can refer to an employment agency, labor organization, or joint labor management committee, and is generally an employer engaged in interstate commerce and having 15 or more workers.
I feel an interaction coming on.
Great. Open up a browser. That can't be right. That's like saying, okay, I'm a drunk. I can come to work every day drunk because I have a disability. You can't fire me.
I think if you refuse help, they probably at a certain point can. But what kind of rehab am I going to get for internet addiction?
None.
And what am I going to do with this, Stevie?
Just don't show it.
And actually...
No, it must be addressed.
No, it shouldn't.
I'll be back.
No.
Welcome on aboard.
Oh.
Oh, dude, what the hell? Dude! Get me out of here!
Enjoy it.
No!
Oh, Gavin turned around.
It's touching me! It's touching me!
Gavin turned around?
He turned around and put his hands on the wall.
It's in the position.
Did he turn around and stick his hands on the wall? It looked like he turned around and just stuck himself in the corner.
Away from you.
It's very Pavlovian.
I don't think he was presenting.
That's the way I took it.
That's the way you acted, I saw. God. It's touching me, man.
There's actually another angle of this I just thought of with your disability with porn addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You're online.
And I can't get fired for playing with myself in Gavin's office.
Because you have a disease. Great. That's what we needed.
I was just going to say that because of this job, you're online all day, every day, constantly trying to find material, news stories, whatever. So actually,
this job exposes me to internet porn.
Exactly.
God. Yeah.
Speaking of, how about some more of the Manning and the Lover?
I think that bit's dead.
No, I don't think so.
Not with the Lover, no. Not the Manning and the Lover. No, we've just opened a new can.
Slick it, Manning.
Are you, what?
Slick it, Manning.
I don't know what you said. You ready to go, Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what are the clips Trey pulled.
African in heat.
And I am about to extinguish your Nubian fire.
It's in my mouth.
I know that.
You stop it.
It's in my mouth.
I heard you.
It's in my mouth.
I'm almost done.
It's not in your hand. It's in my mouth.
I know what it is.
That's what you're doing, Whitey.
If you hold still.
You'll come.
Oh, yes.
You'll come.
Almost there.
You'll come. God will see to it.
I don't need God's help with this one.
You're a racist.
But I'm sleeping with a colored.
It's in my mouth.
You're a whiny bitch. Let's go, Chuck. What? Go ahead, Dan.
For more information about the Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any question you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show, and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. Other show websites, johndavidryan.com,
It's in my mouth.
danandtassos.com.
It's in my mouth.
djclo.com, treytrenholm.com, and for Chuck on the keyboards, chuckweek.com.
It's in my mouth.
The official caterer of the Russ Martin Show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, sugarbabiesbbq.com. Limo service is provided by Limo George. His website, limogeorge.com. Russ gets his...
I got a word in my mouth.
I spell it for you. S-P-E. Tequila.
And the official site for Live 105.3 is live1053.com.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
You can now listen to The Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info.